No, we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got a few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all, lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. I wonder what went wrong today, Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words you say, To say the words you remember.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 4 of this stream for the Equinox League. My name is Cradden, and alongside me for the first game is my man Roman. You okay?
Yes, I'm alright, and I'm excited to see some new teams, new players. For me, since I haven't watched the other weeks, I didn't have the chance. I had a few things to do. Now, let's see some quality League of Legends.
That's right, we will. So, to be honest, with 2 of the teams playing later today, with all the roster moves, with all the changes to the new ranked season, we might as well be watching a new league anyway. There's a lot of changes to champions. A few of our teams have changed players around, so there's a lot of differences compared to the teams that played in our first 3 weeks of the EQ League. So either way, it's going to be a blast to see today's teams duke it out onto the Rift.
All right, that's interesting, and I really want to see the patch 9.2 and his impact on the competitive environment. If this is the competitive environment I'm looking for, I'm not sure. I'd really like to be surprised. From what I see, players pretty much play all the picks that we can see in the competitive scene. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, with the with leagues like the LCS, LEC, LCK starting off, I really like it when teams at this level, at Platinum, Gold, Diamond, start to be inspired by the picks that are being played by the regional teams and just sort of bring those in. It's always entertaining because there are some picks like Ryze and Azir, which have horrible win rates in solo queue and in low elo, but then as soon as you take them into the pro scene, they do absolutely brilliantly. So it's really fun to watch them get brought down into an amateur league.
Yeah, Ryze and Azir are another kind of champions. I'd really like to see some, like, Karthus. I think Karthus is really hard to punish in the jungle in this less coordinated team environment. In pro scene, then you just draft some pushing lanes and strong early game jungler, and you can punish Karthus and then have something like the Karma that we saw yesterday in the LEC, or a champion that can build redemption and deal with the Karthus even late. But when the Karthus is set behind, then he stays behind. I don't really think that's an option to play for players at those kind of levels, and that Karthus can get away with a lot of things and then become the free win, as we know from the LEC.
Yeah, you reminded me of Acadian's play for TSM. He went Olaf and went for Redemption as well. I really want to see it built on all sorts of weird champions around in this league. And yeah, I want to see some early game jungle power. I think with the jungle changes that have come in the most recent patch, they've sort of affected a lot of the scaling of junglers as they go for their second and third clears. On the other hand, you've got hyper-farming junglers like Shyvana, who've been buffed as a consequence and have really shown up to be really good in solo queue and competitive play alike.
Oh, all right. And there are some changes to AP itemization, namely to Moral Nomicon and Oblivion Orb, which has been slightly nerfed. I really like to see that, because Oblivion Orb was a must-buy for every mage that we have seen anytime. I don't really know if the jungler changes are really affecting Karthus. They might be, because he's a scaling jungler and he wants to AFK farm until he gets unstoppable, until he gets free items. Also, the Oblivion Orb plays a big role, so maybe I was a bit overhyped on the Karthus side. But let's see the draft. We're right in. There's a Lee Sin ban.
There we go. Yeah, banned against the Fat Raccoons in 4 of 6 games so far. Lee Sin, a strong jungle pick. By the way, if you haven't seen these two teams before, on the blue side are KEX, they are 2 and 4. On the red side are Fat Raccoons, also 2 and 4. So 2 teams not having had the greatest time so far. We'll see what they can do as the ban phase continues.
There's Lissandra. We've seen a lot of blind pick Lissandras right now. We saw it can be punished, especially with scaling laners and also some good skill shot mages, since Lissandra is really slow. In fact, we've seen Power of Evil against Crown yesterday, and Crown played Lissandra into the counter matchup into the Xerath, and he dodged everything. That was really powerful performance. Lissandra is now banned, as are Jarvan and Kled, and I see a pattern right here. In those banned champions, those are really hard engaged champions, and if you can play those, they're not hard to set your win conditions. If you're Jarvan and Lissandra, then you just want to teamfight. You want to run over the enemy team, destroy everything. There's the Zoe. Zoe is really annoying. I really want to see Zoe banned in every game. It's hard to deal with, and it's hard to cast also, because if you one-shots people from 2 screens away and you can't really react to that in time, the first ban phase is over, and there's Illusion, the strong power pick in the bot lane. I don't really see Gold Platinum players really utilizing Illusion effectively on the bot lane, because he's a really hard lane bully. And I've seen a lot of Lucians go even CS with Vaynes and Jinxes, and that's really not what you're looking for with the Lucian. But he scales well too. There's the Sejuani, another engaged champion. Really like to see that. Don't make it really difficult for you. Don't play split pushing teams or poke strategies that are really hard to execute. Just draft some engage. Who gets the most engage? He wins. I really like that. Braum, another one with a big shield, big disengage. That can work well in team fights. Also not a bad laner. Maybe I'd like to see a ranged champion in the bot lane against Lucian, but these are the meta picks. This is Braum. There might be also Sion in the top lane.
Yeah, so far a lot of synergy on the Fat Raccoons side. So Sejuani and Braum, I really like the way they work together. So they've got the concussive blows on Braum and the permafrost on Sejuani. So if you can catch an enemy for a few shots, then it can allow a lot of chain CC. So it's almost a basis to a one-on-one pick combo, where teams in the mid-game can track their opponents down and lock them down for an extended period of time. It looks like Swain might be a fine addition to that. We've got a substitute for the Fat Raccoons in the mid lane, the Admiral of Rivals fame, and we don't have any EQ records to go on, but he's a solid mid laner, and the Zoe was certainly a target ban towards him. Played in 196 Season 8 games. Akali, Zed, and Katarina, some assassins, are amongst his roster as well. It might still be the case the Swain could be a flex into top or bot, but the Admiral's certainly throwing KEX for a loop at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Who flexes more wins. This Swain can go anywhere. I expect him to be mid. He's also good into the Sion, actually. With Swain with Kleptomancy, can really bully Sion around and get away with a lot of free gold and then the beast in teamfights. And if he doesn't get ganked, then he's scaling like a madman too. He just can't die to level 3 gank. That's the only concern that I have. Actually, when I think about it, I really expect this Swain to be top lane, but we can't get surprised by anything. There's a Kai'Sa ban as the hyper carry, which is being set up for with the Sejuani and the Braum. Sorry. Also, the Swain makes up for some kind of extra damage. Yeah, there's the second hyper carry. There's Vayne being out and blind pick Azir on the mid lane. That's an opening for some kind of assassin pick on mid lane for the team on blue side.
Yeah, it's increasingly looking like a Swain in the bot lane for Fat Raccoons, but if we take a quick look at the KEX comp so far, Lucian has been picked down to Dragon Pope. Sion and Poppy create a nice bit of synergy with each other's crowd control, and they just need the damage to go with it. So Lucian's already there as the attack damage marksman. To counter that with some ability power, they've got Akali, and it looks like we'll be seeing Akali in the mid lane to go against Azir. Exactly the assassination that you just described, Roman.
Mm-hmm. Akali can just dump all over Azir, and if she gets a little bit ahead, then she can just run away with the game and make Azir useless. Because the thing with Azir is he can't really go to side lane, and you don't really have a sideline marksman either with Tristana. There's a lot of late game in the Fat Raccoons team. Makes their early game a lot vulnerable. The only side you can play around is the Swain, but you can't really kill Sion past level 6 because you're just going to run away, and you have a Sejuani and the Swain, and they both doesn't really have the damage to kill Sion to burst him down in one gank. So the Sejuani duty is just going to be warding around and be there when mid lane and bot lane is going to get bullied. They will get bullied.
And yeah, there's so much pressure that's going to go down onto the Azir. And it looks like with a final switch there, we're going to be seeing Lucian move into the mid lane with a Sion Alistair bot lane. Or that could be an interesting switch of roles from the KEX
Or
team.
they just don't have the LCS order draft. It just might be that they don't have the LCS order. And there's a top lane Sion and mid lane Akali and bot lane Lucian, and nothing's wrong.
Interesting.
I think that's the case.
In three, because in 4 previous games we've seen Dragon Pope play ADC as Jhin, Sivir, and Lucian. It looks like he could be going for mid. He could be trying something with KEX to switch roles with his teammates. I really like it when this sort of thing happens because you rarely see it. It's very difficult to call in this draft phase as a caster. But because you've got so many potential flex picks, Poppy could take the lanes. Lucian's typically a marksman, but could be going mid. And we've also got a double teleport comp.
If it really is Sion bot lane, Lucian mid, and Akali top. I really don't like the Lucian Azir matchup because yes, Lucian can dump on Azir a bit, but then Azir will eventually outscale and he's going to outpush him. Lucian has to spend a lot of his mana for just wave management, and he also has to buy Hex Drinker because he doesn't get MR per level. Oh man, it's gonna be really interesting. I still think there's gonna be Sion top lane, Akali mid, and Lucian bot, and just it's some sort of interesting role swap for those players. Because otherwise, I don't really like that. I don't get how Sion is level dependent and how can he really work with Alistar. Those two just don't really have the damage to kill Slippery Tristana with a Braum on top.
Yeah, they can just easily get locked down, and any sort of lane advantage that Sion has from pushing, Tristana's explosive shot is going to be very good at pushing the wave right back. So you're right, it doesn't really create that pressure.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be Lethality Sion. We can see. The whole purpose of playing Sion is that you just dump that lane, you just stick Sion top and let him be there. And if he gets ganked, if he dies once or twice, he doesn't really care. He's just gonna get tanky anyway, and he's just gonna run into fights and smash you with his big axe or something that he has. I don't know what it is.
That's
You also need to get Lucian a full sack of gold, and you also need him to bully these bot laners like Tristana, who are not strong early game. I don't really see the purpose of the roll swap, but okay, we have last 30 seconds. What do you say about that? I've talked a lot.
Yeah, let's go. I think we can in this phase. There's a lot to take in from this draft. I think looking at the lanes, I'm going to go with what you've said, and I think it's going to be Dragon Pope going Sion top. It's going to be heavy push. I don't think it's high damage. And when it comes to Pykex, I don't think that suits him. We've seen him on Kled a lot, and in the 2 games he's played as Kled, he's got 29 kills. So I think he might struggle with adjusting to a slower lane. The pressure will be on Tristana later, but I think the lane to watch will be Akali against Azir in mid. That will determine a lot of the game for me.
Yeah, the KEX composition is really well rounded. There's a clear win condition that I see in the split pushing Akali. It can get fed on either Swain or Azir, doesn't really matter. She can get fed, and she can go to side lane and just bully around those laners that just want to scale, because nobody will be able to match her in 1v1s. And then they have disengage with Alistar and Poppy. Nobody can really jump them. Lucian can just E away, and Sion is just Sion. He doesn't really care. So I don't think there is an answer. However, that comp is really hard to execute correctly. When you want to split push on these gold platinum elos, doesn't really do well. It usually ends with the team getting engaged on in 5v4, or the split pushers just getting 1v2 killed without doing anything, without his team being in position on, or he just would overextend. I like more the clear win condition of Azir and Tristana just scaling. Maybe that's gonna work. Maybe they can play around Swain to carry them through the early game, and then just wait for 2 or 3 items for Azir, wait for 2 items for Tristana, and then be really, really obnoxious. And Tristana and Azir can melt Poppy, Sion, and Alistar all at once, because Azir has a lot of AoE, and Tristana also can get some pretty good damage off, while they have a really good front line. So I really like that. It's just a matter of a split push against teamfight comp, and if Lucian and Akali can get fed early enough and end the game.
Yeah, it's a real split between the 2 strategies. On the KEX side, you've got the 2 teleports, potential split push, and on the Fat Raccoon side, you've got the potential for getting the scaling comp going, zoning people off, CCing people 1 by 1. And I think that might be what it boils down to in the later game. Either way, both of the teams, they have solid crowd control. They have good damage sources of both attack damage and ability power. And both teams are playing fairly comfortable champions, even if they weren't getting their number 1 pickups like the Kled or the Lee Sin. Ladies and gentlemen, in chat, give us a shout. Is it a KEX or a Fat Raccoons win we're about to see? We're certainly seeing a KEX invade as they move with 5 players up to Pykex's position.
Let's get in some level 1 fight.
There's a flash ready, and he's going to walk away popping an emote. Unfortunately, no Blitzcrank hook. And it means KEX will be able to move further into the jungle of the Fat Raccoons. They're still advancing, and Fat Raccoons are just laying down some wards. They don't want any part of this fight, and they're just going to respectfully back off for now.
All right. Let's see if they can use that information. There's also 2 wards on the red buff. Really like that. 2 wards are more than 1. They see more. And looks like it's Cyan bot lane. Minions are on the map. All right, this is gonna be really interesting. I hate Cyan bot lane. I think it's terrible. You can't really force any fights with Cyan being stuck, just farming under tower against Tristana Braum, who's gonna push him in all the time. I really hate that. It's bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Sion and Alistair move towards the bot lane. They said casters were baited. Sion and Alistair might be baited. Here comes the stack, but Dragon Pope's going to land a double decimating smash. Sangche's going to have the focus on level 2 acting with red buff is in the vicinity. Truossi and Hero Complex, the Fat Raccoons bot lane, will walk out of there, but that's an Alistair on low health already.
Yeah, Octane was coming to help his team there. But that really shifts the power of the red team, because there suddenly is a even lane on top lane and winning lane on bot lane with Tristana going against Sion and Alistair. I really wonder if that Sion is going to the lethality, because otherwise I don't really see the point. There's level 2. Jump them.
Yeah, we're going to have a nice smash again. Yeah, apologies guys, we've had some technical issues on stream, but we're just catching up the action to where we are live. We'll be with you shortly as KEX run through the jungle at supersonic speed. Meanwhile, Actine is going in. Sangche, Flash Q in the bot lane, looking for the kill on Hero Complex's Braum. Ignite is down, but Truossi looking for the return damage. Can't quite get the explosive shot to its final charge. Heavy damage, no kills.
Alright, how is Alistair still level 1? And what's the point of ganking for level 1 Alistair? I didn't really like it. Oh, let's go. Concussive blows? No jump forward.
Need the 4th stack, but that's an Ignite. Hero Complex and Sangche both popping the offensive summoner spell.
Oh, I think Tristana had EQ at level 2. So she couldn't really jump forward and kill Sion. There. Oh, there you have the matchup swing in the top lane, where Trapman is doing really good against this Swain. In the bot lane, they just really need to farm this wave and fight when the minion counts are even. And they can just bully the Sion with the Alistair. They already need to go back, but I don't really think they're going to buy anything.
Oh, meanwhile in the mid lane, Lucian is under fire by Sejuani. Charges in and puts down consistent damage. Needs the 4th stack of Permafrost. Flash already exhausted, and there's first blood for Wayne M on the Fat Raccoons.
Alright, and what can go more wrong than dying with the Lucian mid lane against an Azir? He got really caught up. No cleanse used by Dewi. That's also kind of questionable. But what could he do? Azir had flash. Sejuani had double buffs, so they would catch to him eventually.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming through. Lucian loses some of his CS lead and loses the cannon minion in the mid lane as a result. He's going to get back onto his build. Tristana going in, stuns onto Dragon Pope, but that's going to be some nice disengage. Sangche, the next target.
I think they can win
Decimating
this.
smash coming in. And it looks like blue team's bot lane will be able to get under tower for now. Sion and Alistair are in a tricky position, and they've got Waynem's Sejuani down there as well.
Yeah, so much free farm for this Tristana. We have to question this again. Sejuani just waiting for a counter gank, but Poppy is nowhere near to be seen.
Lucian trying again in mid lane, getting some damage onto Admiral. Lightslinger passive doing well. Double shots coming in. Like double lift on Sneaky once again. Actine not even required to join the fray there.
Yes, that's okay. That's interesting. Admiral is really playing with fire right here. I think he should really go back, because David can just E on him again and kill him.
Oh, didn't even need to. It's going to be the piercing light. Davi comes out with level 6 and a solo kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, and if he didn't hit that Q, he could just call him and kill him anyway. Admiral didn't really pop the barrier, didn't flash, he just didn't expect the damage from the Q, or he just couldn't see it. And gives a really free kill. And that's bad, because he gets this whole wave crashed onto his turret and just loses 20 CS. That's really big gold advantage for Dewi. This mid lane can get out of the hand, And it's the Azir you've been talking about in the champion select, where he has really high win rates in the competitive scene. But nobody is going to pick Azir blind with the chance of being mid lane Lucian or some assassin picked into him. Just really getting outplanned.
I think that might have been the problem for the Fat Raccoons. They were as baited by the draft as we were and just decided to go for the mid lane. Then again, the Admiral is that type of player. He will pick whatever he wants. Dragon Pope going in the bot lane, but it's going to be Shirasi getting out of there for Fat Raccoons. They don't want anything with Actine involved.
Oh, that's another dash. And you can get
Yo, there's a culling. He's going for the Admiral here. Uses the shield and just about gets out with the shifting sands.
Yeah, no barrier. Azir has to go to base again, and he doesn't have level 6 when Davey is level 7. This 2-level advantage on the mid lane is really hard to deal with, and Davey can also get another roam in because he gets to crush another wave. 30 CS is the advantage. He can just toy with Azir's jungler because it's free, doesn't really cost him anything.
Yeah,
he can push another wave and then go back. And then buy, I think he's gonna get a recurve bow and boots 1.
Yeah, sitting on 700 gold at the moment. That's at least boots and a dagger, which is going to allow him that extra bit of attack speed, bit more evasion, but yeah, whatever lead he lost in that first blood, he's gained it back. He's got some harass onto Wayne M in the jungle, and it's just a measure of what KEX are doing there. They're really pushing it down across the board.
Yeah, and I've said that Lucian really has to go Hexdrinker in mid lane because he doesn't get MR per level. And while it's really good against Sejuani and Azir, against both of them, he can't really afford to buy Hexdrinker right now. He has to snowball his lead. And it's something that's really nice for you as a mid laner, when you don't really need to get those defensive, offensive, half-assed options, like you know, that blue thing that's built into Sonya's. I forgot the name. Yes, he gets arm guards.
Sorry, everyone knows what you're talking about.
When you're playing against Zed, or to get a Hexdrinker when you're playing against a really high magic damage champion. It's a really nice feeling to get your Blade of the Ruined King right away. Alright, so the CS lead in bot lane has been stabilized a bit. If that's a word in English, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one. What do you think, assuming we don't see anything from Wayne M here, what do you think about the build from Shirasi's Tristana? We've got a Column, we've got a Vampiric Scepter. Could that have been more damage heavy?
I guess he's just scared. I don't really know why he's building a Vamp Scepter against the Sion lane. But he might get ganked, and there's going to be some serious damage from the Sion and Eddie Alistair.
Oh, and here comes the combo here. Trample damage is big.
Now.
Buster Shot immediately used, as here comes Axine and Wayne M from the side. Two junglers looking, and Complex has to flash away on low health. Wayne M with the re-engage. Sejuani comes in. Trossi trying to follow up. Will the bomb tick onto Dragon Ball? There it is. Wayne M secures the second kill. And only Actine is able to walk away from that one. Flash is burned, but 2 for 0 for the Fat Raccoon.
Yeah, and you can see that this Prestige attack Tristana can really deal with those tanks. You just have to not be afraid. I think Tristana can get some really nice... Oh, I always forgot those items. What the hell? Stormrazor, that's the thing. Stormrazor.
Yeah, the crit's going to be great on her, whether she wants to go full on attack speed or whether she's happy with her Q.
Oh, he's going to get Borg. While it can make sense in those double tank lanes, that he wants to get these percentage damage on hits, I don't really think it's good all around, because Azir is getting dumpstered on mid lane, and you just really need to get a good item that is strong on its own, which Stormrazor is, and Borg is too, but Borg doesn't really synergizes with the other ones. with Rapid Fire and Infinity Edge. You can't just get Borg on Tristana. It's not like a really bad mistake, and it may make sense. But he's going to delay his core by doing this. And let's just hope it buys enough time for Azir to get strong.
Yeah, because KEX is becoming a bit of a time bomb at the moment. Sion and Alistair, they can get bullied out of lane. As we can see, they've got a CS deficit at the moment. The danger is when Sion and Alistair are at the front of a team fight and start crowd controlling your carries. As that happens, Davies Lucian has had a fantastic lane phase. Has got a 40-45 CS lead up on the Admiral's Azir, and is going to want to press that advantage. So as soon as KEX start coming together, it's going to be very difficult for Fat Raccoons to stop the team fight with their CC that seems to focus on one player at a time.
Yeah, the Borg buy is really big on the Lucian. He can reliably 1v2 Azir and Sejuani right now.
Oh, and here's the catch out on Trapman. Ult goes in. Shuriken flips, not going to happen. Pyke needs one more shot. Does it, and that's going to be his first kill of the game against the run of play onto Trapman.
Yeah, Actine just being a little bit too late on this counter gank. Couldn't really get anything off. Trapman just died. Kali being really squishy. And vulnerable to ganks. If he does get hit by that surprise Glacial Prison, which he did get. And we've talked a lot about this mid lane, but everything around the Admiral is just being pretty good. He might get carried. He just has to defend this turret. Wayne M can join him and just make him a little bit safer. But there's Actine coming around too. Yeah, and Davey can 1v2. Just don't overextend, just def the tower. I don't really like this. Davey is really, really strong. Just defend the turret.
While Admiral has been getting a CS loss here, we've got to give him credit for not just almost inting his way into the mid lane. It would be very easy if you were in this sort of matchup against the Lucian to be slowed by the bot truck, caught out and then killed several times over. The fact he's held his turret and that at 13.5 minutes, it's almost not dead yet. That's a massive credit to Admiral. Here comes Hero Complex, but there's two more KEX members. They're looking to finish the turret for the first turret of the game, and Davey is going to apply the final shot, giving KEX a 700 gold lead and first brick.
Yeah, that's the first big bonus for KEX, just taking advantage of that mid lane matchup that have gone horribly wrong for the Admiral. I don't really like pathing of Wayne M. He had really to focus on one of his strong lanes, and I would prefer the top lane right now. To gank it repeatedly and get some damage off on the turret, so the KEX team had to worry about something, because all the turrets had been 5 plates just recently. When the first turret on the mid lane died, all of blue turrets were on 5 plates. And they can just walk up mid and take the turret like they did. Oh, there's another
here comes a big play in the bot lane. Tarasi dodges the unstoppable onslaught and flashes out of the way. He wants no part in this. Here comes PykeX. He's going to back up this fight. Go in with the demonic ascension. It's only a couple of stacks, but it's providing the damage. Comes the teleport in from Trapman. Perfect execution is ready. He's going towards Brown. Hero Complex is the target. That's going to be a kill.
Nice.
Before Trapman turns onto PykeX. Actine takes the kill as the entire KEX team is there in the bot lane, goes 2 for 0 and turns towards the Mountain Drake.
Yeah. Play gone horribly wrong. The red team overextended. They maybe couldn't see the teleport from the Akali, but he just arrived and took everything, cleaned up. They get the Mountain Drake too, which just will come in handy to burn Baron or some other sweet stuff, like some turrets, like another Drake's.
Yeah, turret advantage is going to be great in this game for either team. When you've got fast pushers like Lucian and Azir on the teams, it's going to be important that the two teams on show don't give away too much in death time. They don't let their turrets stay unattended for 20 seconds, because I didn't even mention Tristana then, and she's working on bot turret. It's so easy for 2 players, if left unattended,
Yeah,
to
but there's
smash
Poppy
down
and
a
Akali coming.
Here comes Actine, misses with the Keeper's Verdict. Doesn't look like Actine can defend the outer turret in bot lane, and that's Fat Raccoons equalizing the tower stakes, cutting the deficit to 800.
Oh, I thought they were going to fight. Akali has a Gunblade, which is really big power spike. And even though Tristana has Bork, there's no exhaust. There were no ults on the side of Tristana and Braum. I think that was free, but okay. Good decision not to force anything that could turn around eventually, because there are concussive blows. That's something you have to count every time you see Braum and you face him.
Ooh, and that's a nice decimating
smash.
Yeah, Alistair could follow up there, but Admiral and Wayne M for the Fat Raccoons were in the wings.
Yeah.
The 2 marksmen, I say marksmen, we've got Davi, who's a mid laner, who's playing Lucian. They're up top, and the culling goes out. Tarasi forced to rocket jump away on half health, and the Fat Raccoons are going to need to respond to this one. Here comes Hero.
They also didn't want to force. I would flash in there, because he knew Tristana doesn't have flash. So I would flash in and just try to kill the Tristana. I would die because there was Braum coming down the river to just help and save Trist. Lucian's getting on the side lane, getting some nice farm up there.
Oh, there's the Glacial
missile,
Fisher.
and it's
Maybe
it.
attempting to get a catch out on him. Fat Raccoons ignite him, land the full bomb, but they're not going to take him out. 2 stuns got onto Actine as well, but he too is going to get away. Flashburn, counter engagement in from Dragon Pope. Nothing too decisive yet. Here's Sangche, but the damage just isn't yet there. Hero is low, and Actine isn't quite in range. KEX almost taking down some players, but they just don't have Trapman in the area, who's their second big source of damage.
That was some really ambitious Glacial Prison. I really like that. He just flashed and throw it in the way of Lucian, who was really far away and still had flash up. Nice use of cleanse. That was insta-cleansed the Braum passive, the concussive blows from the Lucian. I really like that. Now there's the Rift Herald call, and there are some key ults missing on the sides of the red team. Let's see if this gets some revenge.
Ooh, Keeper's Verdict not landing, but both teams still intent on Rift Herald as it gets low. 2-man knockup from Sangche, Smash follows up, and Actine gets a kill just about, dodging a death from Tarasi. Follow-up comes in, Davi takes a kill, and it's going to be KEX following up, taking down 3 members of the Fat Raccoons as soon as Tarasi goes down. Double kill going over for Lucian, and it's going to be the Rift Herald going over to Actine as well. Whether he pops this instantly, it looks like he's going to here. So the second mid tower under threat, KEX pushing this as hard as they possibly can with Trapman pressuring the bot lane.
Oh man, just pop the blast cone, save the Tristana, something has to be saved to defend the inhibitor turret. This just looks like the inhibitor turret is going down because Tristana didn't really want to jump away and save her life. I'm not impressed with that kind of play, but let's see.
Fun fact, by the way, that's the first time in 5 games that KEX have taken the first Rift Herald.
Alright. Something going good.
So, yeah, if they can break that, then maybe they can break their losing streak so far.
Yeah, they're also winning the game with Sign bot lane. Oh, that was some really unfortunate fight. Really sad that we don't have the replay here. But really the key point of this was don't start any objective, don't force anything when you don't have key ults. This team really relies on that Glacial Fissure and Glacial Prison. And if you don't have those, just don't try, because Lucian is really slippery. If you can't stop him, if you can't hard CC him, you will not kill him, ever.
Yep, and speaking of slippery, he's going to open up onto Hero Complex, open the culling, force the Blast Cone out, and really clear the way for KEX to take the second Drake of the game, the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, and Akali is the same case like Lucian. This game is all about the mid laner. Davey is really carrying his team.
Yeah, he's stacked up the bounty, he's slippery, he's sort of providing a foil for Akali. Both Lucian and Akali have massive CS leads on their opponents at this point. And looking at the gold leads as well, you've got 1,000 for Trapman over KEX, and then 2.2k for Davy over the Admiral, so it really shows the gold distribution of KEX. They're piling it all towards their carries, and they've still got that tanky CC in the bot lane. It didn't do great in lane, but Sion Alistair never will. They've made it through lane, and now they can move into team fights.
Alright, now lane assignment just goes how they want it in the first place, maybe. The Sion just finally being paired against Swain, but they're going to cancel it. Better force something with Sion, who is tanky already, than to fight with Ninja Tabi and Frozen Heart against Swain. That doesn't really make sense on the lane, going 1v1. Alright, KEX now going to be sent top lane. And Akali bot lane. Because, guess what? Akali has her TP ready. So, in case of anything, she can just TP. And also, there's one ward behind the whole red team. I know Akali flanks aren't really dangerous because she just walks behind you and then shouts, and then you really rely on the rest of the team to provide some reliable engage, which they can because they have Sion, they have Alistair, and they have Poppy. Let's see if they just make use of that ward, which really expired right now. So the whole point I was talking about is some nonsense. One turret being taken down by Akali. I really want her to continue and to get in a 1v1, which he should really win. Being matched against Swain, being matched against everybody in the enemy team, Akali should win right now 1v1, so they can get just huge pressure off of that. She can just shove one wave, then look to join his team, while... Oh, I'm always saying his team when it's... Akali is a woman. I don't really know. I haven't... I'm making so much mistakes. Okay, I don't care.
No worries. You've got the side lane set up, so you've got Akali and Swain. The teleports are against each other. The weird thing then was that Davy on Lucian just went to split push top lane, so it moves both teams out of all random all mid and sort of stops them engaging all of each other in the mid lane.
Yes, but that really is good for the blue team because no one can match Lucian 1v1. No one can match Akali 1v1, so they can just 1v1 them to death. And the only question is if they make mistakes in that 1v1 setup, which is really easy by the way, or if they just execute it properly, take some turrets, then take control of the Baron area and take Baron, or maybe just shove some waves and then look to get some advantage in the team fight. If you force Swain to farm under his turret, you can just force 5v4 with Sion. That's really easy.
Yeah, it's a game of teleports at the moment. Lucian doesn't have a teleport, but he's really intent on taking topside. As you said, he can 1v1 anyone right now, and Truossi is the only player defending the turret at the moment. That's going to draw a lot of Fat Raccoons players up to the top lane. Waynem's already on his way, Hero Complex as well, but that tower is going to be long gone.
Yes.
And Actine is setting up a bit of a defense, goes in on Hero Complex. Here comes the follow-up from Davy and Sangshay, but they are going to back out. They're going to go back in though. Unstoppable Onslaught leads the charge. Davy is on a killing spree and goes in with the culling onto Truossi. Teleport coming in from KEX, but he's at the back of the fight. He's got the 5 stacks. He needs to do something with the Demon Flare when all of the KEX team are grouped together. Unfortunately, he didn't have time to react because that was a quick pick from KEX.
That kill was kind of gifted, the KEX team. Not really much Braum could do there. And it's kind of typical of playing around a strong side laner like this Lucian with 4-1-2. 2.5 items. Just play around him, be there, and the enemy team has to get to him to stop his split push. And if they try to get him, just answer with your counter gank. That's kind of obvious. The only thing you have to do is make sure Lucian doesn't die, and he's going to win the game for you.
And so much pressure generated by the Lucian. Big advantage from that last team fight. It allows KEX to take another Drake. With 3 different elemental Drakes, they've got a lot of bonuses to regen, to damage, to objective power. And they've also got quite a significant gold lead. It stands at 6k at the moment, because they've taken 5 turrets to the Fat Raccoons too. We're going to see Baron be the key point of the next few minutes. We've got Fat Raccoons arriving there first, but there's a lot of really good vision around it by the KEX team. Another great stat is that KEX so far in the league are the #1 team for buying vision wards. They've bought 3.3 vision wards per minute when you average it across all players, and Fat Raccoons in 6th position languish far behind that. So KEX, it really sets up their split pushing style. The vision at the moment is being removed by Fat Raccoons sweeping.
Alright, this is where it gets scary for the Fat Raccoons team. Azir has 2 items already. Azir is fine, actually. His only thing that he's going to get worried, the only thing he should worry about is Akali jumping on him. Otherwise, he should have large frontline going for him. But Tristana still doesn't have her Infinity Edge. And without it, it's going to be a really hard task to burn through all the tanks, through Poppy, through Sion, and through Alistar. I really want this team to wait for that Infinity Edge. And then just try to fight them. It's the only thing you can do to win this game.
Oh, and here comes the unstoppable onslaught. KEX don't want to wait. Big engage onto Admiral. Keeper's Verdict going in, not going to land, but Pykex in the front line. With the Demon Flare, he has the Zhonya's, but does not have time to pop it. Fantastic damage from Davey. He's at the back with the culling. And Wayne M is going to get knocked up. Fantastic Sion and Alistar CC. Trapman in the back as well. And that's going to be a clean sweep from the KEX team. Fat Raccoons, they're all dead. And that's a free Baron.
Yeah, Admiral just decided to lose the game for his team right there. I don't really understand what he was thinking. Maybe he could just flash the Sion ultimate, because he had to use his flash anyway. Alright, that's it. That's the Baron for blue team. I really want them to use it right away. Just don't go back to base, because you still have 10 seconds on all the other members. Just take the top lane turret, just take the bot lane too. Akali could have just went there. This wave is dying, another one is coming, but there are also another players from the red team. The turret have gone down eventually, and it's a matter of just grouping and pushing the last tier 2 turret on bot lane, and then make some good use of rotations and of vision. And just run through all lanes. There's a naked inhibitor in the mid lane. The only thing you need to do is make the red team run for their money and catch them.
Oh, speaking of, here's a good catch. Akali and Alistar working together. There's the trample stun. Trapman looking for the shuriken flip. Can he land it onto Admiral? He goes in, 5-point strike, secures the kill. And the never move is going to bring it back into turret range. But he's back out of there once again. Akali's so mobile. Pykex wants this, but there's the headbutt. Gets knocked away. Actine flashes away. It's Sejuani on the back line, and it might be support sacrifice time. Trapman's going to get away.
No. Rest of the team is coming.
But Sangche is still alive in there. He's just about going to fall to Wayne M damage. Here comes Davey in the back line. Trossi has nothing against this. Davey cleans up and turns his attention to the rest of the team. It's a complete flank by the KEX side. Trapman is unstoppable, picks up his 5th kill of the game. Wayne M the next focus, and KEX, they're working together. They're like birds of a feather, and they're winning whatever the weather. Hero's the only one alive. That's surely the game for the KEX side.
Yes, kind of last resort. They try to fight, they try to catch Akali, but you can't really do that because Akali is so slippery. She will just run from you, and then eventually her teammates are going to catch up. Lucian just ran across the whole map to help his team, and when he finally arrived, that marked the end of this game. And that's it for EEX.
Yeah, fantastic showing for KEX. They'd struggled a lot in the league, to be honest, even though they were equal with the Fat Raccoons on standings. A lot of people felt that Fat Raccoons were the favourites there. In fact, in the community predictions, Fat Raccoons were predicted by 57% of the community to win. In fact, KEX had a forfeit win in their record, and KEX had not beaten Abandoned, and Fat Raccoons had, Abandoned being considered one of the top teams in the league. So a lot of people would have said Fat Raccoons were the favourites. KEX, in this case, were able to smack them down and really confused just about everyone with their draft there.
Yeah, alright, so here we have some underdog story going on in this match. Okay, we've seen it all. We've seen the hardcore domination on the mid lane by Lucian onto blind pick Azir, which I really don't like. I didn't like it in the champ select, and I hate it even more right now. Just don't blind pick the Azir. It's terrible. Don't do that. If you have one thing to learn from this match, don't blind pick Azir.
That, if we could just put that on a giant red notice at the top of the stream, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Roman, we're going to have to award this. I think we know what we're going to do, but every game needs an MVP. Out of the 10 players that played between KEX and Fat Raccoons, who is your MVP for Game 1 tonight?
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I do as well. There's
maybe if I can be ironic, I would give the MVP to the Admiral or to the draft because that Azir was really terrible. But yes, and also the role swap was kind of genius because if you can trust your mid laner to obliterate Azir like that with his Lucian, then you can just do whatever and draft Signbot, and it's going to work. It's really fantastic when you can have just so much trust, so much goodwill in your team.
Yeah, it's almost solo queue play how KEX won that game.
Yeah.
They managed to coordinate in the last two fights, but even in the final fight in bot lane, they happened to win because there were two separate fights, and it was only when Lucian and Akali arrived at the backline that they managed to win out. It wasn't a cohesive front line or back line. It was just two players who'd done really well, generated a massive lead on their opponents, and just proceeded to get to fights and smash their enemies with the help of CC. So, great solo queue performance. It's got to be Lucian for me, and I guess you'll say the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then.
MVP.
So in 31 minutes, faster than KEX's average of 33, by the way, they're going to take down the Fat Raccoons, and they're going to secure themselves a 3-4 record. So moving in the right direction towards mid-table, still looking towards playoffs in about 8 or 9 weeks' time. We're going to go for a short break on stream as we prepare for the next match, which is going to be almost a derby between two teams that were almost MD2 sisters. That's Venoshock and NOX. Roman, I think we're going to say goodbye here. Do you have any final words for the stream?
Final words? No, why? I'm not dying. I don't have to say final words right now. Yeah, just goodbye and don't be toxic.
Goodbye, don't be toxic, and don't blind pick Azir. Roman, it's been great to cast with you. I hope we do so again in the next few weeks. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Game 2, Venoshock against NOX, in a few minutes' time. Thank you. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second game of tonight's stream of Week 4 of the Equinox League. We've just had KEX take out the Fat Raccoons, maybe against the run of play, but definitely through powerful performances by a Lucian mid and an Akali top. We return for Game 2, Venoshock against NOX, and I'm here with former Venoshock and current AMG player, Demo. You okay?
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. When I requested to be on Game 2 and 3 for casting, I didn't actually realise this would be the game I'd be on. But no, I'm really looking forward to this one for obvious reasons. So it should be a spicy game.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at, and I think the biggest talking point with these two teams is going to be the roster switches, because both teams in the last few weeks, they've spent a lot of time changing their rosters. And there's a lot of players from all over the shop, from Rivals, from MD2 Onslaught, from different sources, and it's really nice to see the familiar names appear in teams. So
yeah,
I think starting with Venoshock, which was your team, yourself and Artemis left, and I think you've got Quantum Charlie and Sneaky Teapot as replacements.
Yeah, also have Space Dog Leica as well now. I just wanted to move on, really. Obvious reasons, like the reasons at home, IRL issues as well coming into it, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm glad they've got a very, very good mid laner coming in. Liam, who was on LLS, Charlie, who was obviously sub on Igni. They have really strong players. Obviously, it'll take a few weeks for the synergy to come in, and then the same again for Nox. I know Mitri is a bit of a multi-role talent. Joe was obviously on Veno, MHJ's was a sub on Igni as well, and Dan, Agent Lightbulb, coming in. And then obviously Ferm on Igni as well. So it's a good talent pool for this game.
Yeah, a lot of really good players. There's a lot of familiarity with them. And I've just had a shout out from Sneaky Teapot saying I missed you, Credden. And I don't know who that is. I know Slimeru as well.
Yeah, that's
is that a name change?
Yeah, it's Liam. I always say I don't know if it's
Liam
Vorzek.
That's him. Oh wow.
Yes, Vorzek. That's the one.
So Vorzek, and then
Jesus.
When he had about 7 million numbers in his name, he keeps confusing me. He is one Sneaky Teapot indeed.
The language as well, but
yeah, he might be toxic, but he's a good guy. So let's see if he can match up with Pascal in the bot lane there.
Yeah. Sabbath flavor me already. Yep, nice one. Top lane should be an interesting one. Both of them I know are much better on carries than they are tanks. Jungle, similar pools. The Camille, the Sejuani, the Zinzao, up for grabs. Mid, I know Space Dogs, like both these mids actually are quite unique when it comes to picks. MHC has pulled out things like the Fioras, the Veins, these sort of unconventional picks, and then Space Dog plays things like Ken in mid, and I believe both. I feel like both AD carries are pretty similar. Supports I'm not too sure about. I know Ferm likes the Rakan, the Rakan Thresh ally likes these engaged supports, whereas I'm pretty sure Sneaky Teapot is some more of a mage support, I believe. I think from when I seen his OPWG, it was more mage based, so we'll see. But I don't know if that was a question you were going to ask me, but certainly filled in anyway.
Yeah, certainly works as a nice lane comparison, and yeah, that is one of the things we're going to be looking at, because a few of the players we haven't seen in the league before, so there are almost question marks around Space Dog Leica, who's a fairly nice artillery and battle mage mid laner, and as you've just mentioned, Sneaky Teapot, who can play both tanky and mage supports. If we're looking at target bans for both teams, I think some of the key ones towards Nox are going to be Received Sejuani, who he's played 4 times out of 5, and also Firum's Brown, who he's played 4 times out of 6. I think that combo we just saw from the Fat Raccoons, and it's a fantastic CC duo with the Glacial Fissure, the Glacial Prison, and the 2 stack CC mechanics working well together. So I think banning one of them, like Zyre and Rakan, will be really good for Venoshock. Banning both, I don't know if it will be necessary, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of picks, I'm thinking, the likes of the Sedge, the Camille, I think that will be swapped, maybe even Aurelia. But I'm pretty sure 3 out of the 4. I think Space Dog's maybe the only one that doesn't play it as much, I think. Not too sure. I'm just trying to think in terms of. I think AD carries differ a little bit. I think Bounce prefers more like the Sivers, the Kaisa, maybe something like Lucian if he can get the pry on it. Whereas I feel like Agent Lightbulb's more Xayah based, more combo supports. So we'll see if the bottling gets priority as a duo, as a double pick rather than singles. We'll see if it works out. As I say, Nox will obviously have the double pick, so they should have an advantage with 2 power picks anyway.
Yeah, once you get... I think the one that no one's seen before is Silas. I don't think any of the teams have had the chance to get Silas into their rosters, but if we're going for heavy tank teams, which we've certainly seen a lot of, Silas can almost be that initiator. He can build heavy AP, but also steal ults like the Camille ult, the Hextech Ultimatum, the Glacial Prison, the Great Glacial Fisher, and almost act as an initiator with high damage for teams. So whether Venoshock and Nox will ban it instantly, or whether they'll focus on existing meta and target bans, it's just going to be one of the things we're looking at in the draft phase. One interesting stat, completely unrelated. In both of these teams, there is one player who has already beaten Nox in this split. So Quantum Charlie and Firum were both on Igni, and while they were both on Igni, they both beat Nox. So I don't know what that says about tonight's match, apart from that both teams know how Nox works.
Well, I'm hoping Firum will know the weaknesses that got led to the defeat in the first place, and then Charlie will know, for his team's benefit, that the way they beat them. Some will argue with a stronger lineup, but yeah, I think both rosters look really, really strong. I think now that things have been tweaked, I've now left. The roster has
glory days have gone.
the roster's shaped out quite nicely, which I'm happy. But yeah, I'm glad we're now into ban phase. It feels like it's been forever talking away, but we'll see what the ban priority is going to be in the Vlad first ban.
Yeah, we'll see that coming out. And MHJ, he's definitely had the chance to play Vladimir, but also has a lot of fairly tanky mid lane picks. Has played Cassiopeia twice, has played Ryze, played Galio, so he certainly has a pool to pick from. You probably need a lot more target banning from Venoshock to take Mats out of the way. We'll see what the remainder of the bans are as Camille goes out the way as well.
Yeah, they'll be because the thing is, they'll be thinking, what are we going to first priority pick to give up 2 things? Like what 2 things? Because we've seen it across EU, NA. I've been watching all. I've been catching up, looking at VODs, and you just see Aurelia, Akali, Aatrox, Urgot, Cassiopeia. All of them, all 6 of them, contested every single game. And then when it comes to this and people ban with specific picks, credit to the players, obviously, they're very good on the champions that aren't as strong. It opens up a lot of different things. Now look at this draft. Probably the Lucian is the only thing you would see banned, and if you were just going meta based, whereas Nox are going for more jungle focus, really early game, that level 2, that priority around Scuttle Crabs, early pressure. So I feel like already we see an advantage for Nox, but we'll just have to see what they pick out of it.
Yeah, certainly Lucian Thresh off the table. Akali, a power pick out of the way. And Agent Lightbulb and Firumu. Lightbulb is actually a really solid AD carry. He's great at the slow farming phase, and in fact at 8.22 CS per minute, he leads the entire league in AD carry farming. So whether he wants to stick with a slower lane, or whether he wants to go for a more aggressive ADC such as the Lucian, one of those options has been taken off the table now.
Yeah, well, Sejuani first pick, obviously, as I said before, both these junglers very, very potent on it. I'm thinking Morgana will get picked up. I feel like it's too strong not to. Black Shield against Sejuani, naturally fantastic. Going to go with the Jarvan though. I know from Scrim experience as well that Joe is fantastic received on this pick. It's punished many a times on it. But I'm thinking if Morg does not get picked here, I'm pretty sure Venoshock will take it. It just depends what they feel like they're going to prioritize in their win conditions of the draft.
Yeah, Braum also on the table as well. We've seen it a lot from Theorem, we've also seen it in conjunction with Sejuani. I might be overstating the importance of that pick because there are several other nice tanky supports to go for. You've got your Alistair, you've got your Tom Kench, you've got several other avenues to go down. As it stands, it's the Urgot that's gone for, so removes a bit of the flex, but could be played by either Mitre in the top lane or MHJ in the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel... Now, the only reason I put the emphasis on the Morgana is because it just takes away a lot of the press R, the prio, the engage, just that go button. It's such a frustrating support to play against, and leaving it open, taking the Alistair is really good. Their core focus is they want to engage, but the worry I have is that this Morgana, if it does get picked now, they might struggle. The 2v2 will be nullified. The Sejuani will have a harder time in teamfights to pick her targets. But it might get banned away and it might not see prio at all. Time will tell later on in this draft, but I guess I could be completely wrong on this one as Vayne just gets locked in. So yeah, I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, Lightbulb looking to go really offensive here. Definitely has played 2 Vayne games so far. And if my ARAM experience with him last night was anything to go by, he's just really good at picking off targets as Andata makes really nice flash plays in the background. He's managed to win both Vayne games so far, against Fat Raccoons in 21 minutes and against KEX in 34 minutes, picking up 10 kills and not dying a single time in either game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good AD. The first few times I played with him, he was very fond of Monotonous Jungle. Yeah, he seems like a very fun player. If that makes sense. Like he's very, very loose. I don't think he doesn't tighten up around pressure. He's going to be very much just press R, the go button. It's just I don't think it's anything short of his pool. As the Morgana band, I thought that was going to come through. Cole, their prio wasn't on that. They're not bothered about it. But it could be MHG on the Vayne. As Cassio gets locked in, obviously that switch, they could have that flex now. It's such a strong draft. You've got one team. Actually, I'm just thinking about it. Actually, Cradden, I'm just thinking. I see Urgot and I see Jarvan. I'm like, they both want to go in, but then Cassio kind of wants to peel. It's a bit, kind of a bit of both, And now Zoe Poke comes in. Ooh.
Yeah, it almost sets up a danger for Nox of whether they'll separate too far, whether they'll have the front line really hard engaging, whether MHJ will be doing a Caps double lift act in mid lane, and then whether you'll have a Cassiopeia at the back just waiting to get picked off. The other thing that I'd like to point out with that comp, Vayne and Cassiopeia, they have fantastic scaling. They can build several items and they can get really good in the hyper carry role. However, they need to get to that position. And that's where I feel picks like the Sejuani for early ganking and Zoe for early harassment will be great for the side of Veno. Yeah.
They clearly want to go for, it's a strange one because the team doesn't really siege very well. But then they have the go button. Zoe's not very good at the go button. She wants to set up around objectives. She wants to have the vision control, throw the bubbles. Maybe that's where the go button is. They get a bubble. Sejuani or knock up, they just go. But I feel like if maybe they had an Ezreal, that they could poke a bit more and then sort of engage with how much strength they have. But they could make it work. They do have a lot of disengage. Braum, Cassio W, and a lot of strong engage with the Braum R, Jarvan R. It's going to be a very, very spicy game. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they both play their comps. And definitely will be telling throughout the early game.
Yeah, the disengages you've just highlighted on both sides is going to be fantastic. Not only with the tankiness, like with the Decimating Smash and the Headbutt coming out of Venoshock, but you've also got Nox with a nice bit of Glacial Fissure, and if necessary, Condemn and Petrifying Gaze to back away. So you've got a lot of hyper carries we're mainly looking at Vayne and Tristana in the marksman position, Zoe and Cassiopeia in the mid lane position, who can put out an absurd, disgusting amount of damage. However, they can fairly easily be shut down if they are caught and if they can be hard CC'd out of their mobility. So it's going to be a fantastic one to watch. Hopefully this one reaches late game.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 shoving lanes, that's the thing. Tristana's going to shove naturally, but they're passive. Zoe's obviously going to just shove with Q, Sion with Q. So they are going to give pressure to the Sejuani, or for the Sejuani, and that could be their window to maybe try and chip away at these towers, get some early tower play, and maybe get an advantage somewhere. Early Rift Herald. You never know. It could just be the simplest of snowballs. And then again, Sejuani's focus, where is it going to be the ganking? Do you want to really go top lane to gank the Sion? Cassiopeia has the cleanse, you got the Vayne condemned, the Braum. It's not going to be too easy for Charlie to find opportunities, but we'll just have to see where he's going to be putting his focus regardless.
Yeah, and another thing to look at with scaling, both of these teams in their games thus far, the average win time of both teams is around 31 minutes. So it's not like either team is a late game specialist or a snowball specialist. They both have had varied results and they've had them at different times. So it's going to be really great to see that early ganking that you've just described, Demo. And really it's going to be a fight over an early objective such as Herald or Dragon that decides things. And
yeah, I just remembered that all 6 games have had me playing in them so far. And I found that not necessarily the problem was just that you get into that lull where you've got out of the early game, you're into the mid game, and you just don't want to make a mistake. So the game drags on 5-6 minutes. Then you just get one fight, the game's all of a sudden it's over. It's never really, or we never really found ourselves winning. Only a couple of games we found. 2, 3, 4 fights back to back led to Baron, led to the end of the game. But with these comps, obviously, it's all about scaling for the side of Nox. Venoshock trying to force things. So it's just going to be where we see the focus lie on the early game between the junglers and who will come out on top in the first 15 minutes. And that's what got me so intrigued after this draft.
Indeed. It looks like we might be in for a bit of a long haul. Looking at the stats between the teams, Veno and Nox are actually the bottom 2 teams in the league for kills per minute. In terms of dragon kills overall, they sit at 10th and 11th, both with 8 dragon kills each. So it suggests really methodical gameplay from both teams, looking for kills when they can get them, but definitely farming up with tanky comps until late game. However, all that could be blown out of the water because of what we've already discussed, the roster changes on both sides.
Yeah, they've actually got a jungler now in Charlie rather than myself. So that will obviously help with the control, just a natural jungler being able to think of these things. But they don't really have to be in the process, I'm going to gank here, invade here, start up Drake, things like that. Just having a look at runes. Nothing really interesting coming out, nothing new. Pretty standard across the board. Vayne going for Fleet rather than Hail of Blades. It might just be a preference thing. I don't really know. I'm not a massive Vayne player myself. But yeah. Anything, anywhere you're focusing on, anywhere you're thinking that could be the big play that's going to spark it? Anywhere you're looking for?
Well, I think we've already mentioned the jungle as the key point, but when we look at the lanes, I think the lane that has the most potential to turn into a solo kill is that mid lane. We've seen Cassiopeia so many times get some harass and turn it into a kill. Equally, I think Leica or D-Smurfin, whatever you want to call him, not only do I know his history of being very strong with solo kills, he's gone for the ignite, he's going for the pressure, and Zoe has the potential to one-shot someone from a disgustingly early stage of the game. So if junglers are around that area, I think that's our best chance at a snowball. We are going to see both teams move on to the Rift.
Yeah, and nobody mid lane actually, for instance. 3 of them grouped up in that brush. Coley wanted to get the ward. But yeah, that's the thing as well. At 6, very easy to predict Zoe's movement. As soon as she ults in, she knows she's going to jump back. Maybe that's where MHG goes for the Q, goes for the miasma, lands it, then starts to trade. He's probably going to win it automatically. But it's that pre-6 mark. See how much he's going to be able to Wanda's Q's on the wave as Zoe dodge the Cassio Q's. It's always that mana pool management as well. That could lead to a kill potentially if you just run out of mana. You know, I've done it so many times myself on Cassio. You're chasing them down, you're 1 E away, and you just run out of mana. As you see, good dancing for Ergot.
The ultimate feels bad, man. Oh, and that's going to be a ward kill. Big shot, and that's going to be Theorem taking his only CS lead, probably, of the entire tournament.
Oh,
When you look at the whole map.
GG, well played. Go next.
There goes the Pixel Brush, and both junglers starting bot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna. There's nothing really hidden anyway. Both junglers are going to start bot side. I'm thinking no level 2 from the Jarvan. Sneaky when I come out, he's going to pass straight to top side though. He's going to avoid Gromp, avoid Wolves, avoid Scuttle Crab, straight into that top side. So I wonder what sneaky path in the received is going to be going for this game.
Yeah, he is pinged out. It almost looked like he was going to go for an early gank onto D-Smurfing, but he's going to go for the topside scuttle, ages away from Sejuani, and he'll now be spotted by Venoshock going back into the Nox topside jungle.
Yeah, so he's taking topside scuttle into red buff. Okay. Both missing their Qs. That's a bit of a friendly start in the mid lane. You miss your Q, I'll miss mine. Yeah, a bit of a funny pattern from Joe. I don't know if he expected the Sejuani to do the same thing with similar pattern, but yeah, a lot of damage down onto Anime's Bay early on in this Urgot. It's probably suspected though. Sabbath is a very, very aggressive player.
Yeah, and he's got the Corrupting Potion as well. He's playing against the Corrupting Potion on Anime's Bay's Urgot, and he's also playing against the Minion Dematerializer. So Anime's Bay looking for an early push advantage, but so difficult to get against a Scion, not least a Scion being played by Sabbath.
Yeah, and its mana pool is down to, if I just had a little click on him there. What's that down to? So he's only got 105 left out of 487. So he has burned through 3/4 of that mana bar already with 3 minutes in. And yeah, that could be the difference maker. A lot of damage coming down though.
Yep, Enemy's Bay is really low, and the flash is forced out. No ignite coming through from Sabbath, but the consistent damage of the Purge doesn't match the big smash coming out of Sabbath Scion.
Oof, yeah, I mean, he felt like even though he had no mana, that he could take that trade and, yeah, really punish Newborn's flash. Maybe that will be the focus from Charlie. I said that before, that might not be the lane you want to go to, but, you know, pretty much a free gank at this point without a flash.
So yeah, overall, apologies by the way, but I understand we've had a lot of technical issues at the moment, where I believe we're still on the loading screen, so we'll be catching up with live action at the moment. The game is still bloodless, teams are even on gold at the 4-minute mark, no towers and no significant CS differences across the board. Players farming up and junglers going about their routes.
I seen Flunky in the chat saying we should pause.
That is one option, but I think Lolu's going to get the client loaded and then catch up to opposition.
Back up the phone after. Okay, yeah, we're going to, yes, back in there.
So this might be the fastest response ever seen by an EQ team, as we move through them at 8 times speed.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at that, just for entertainment value. Okay, I was going to say, I was hoping the Urgot hadn't TP back yet, and he is on 250 HP. He has it back, he stayed. Maybe you could say greeded for the wave, but Sejuani's path on his bot side is fine. But 16 CS lead, even though he had to burn his flash, so still sitting pretty comfortable.
Yeah, all about that CS lead and all about that pushing power at the moment. Still a lot of stacks on the Dematerializer, so I suspect it's going to be saved by Anime's Bay for those cannon minions. He's keeping his teleport, so just wants to neutralise that top lane and ensure that Sabbath can't do anything without damage to his turret plates.
Yeah. Just want to notice, Cradden, he's went for the Shroud first. He's not going to go Black Cleaver, he's going to go for the armour because he is taking... It's more so him taking Brad's trades than him thinking, oh, Sion's damage is broken. Bit of a strange one. Junglers are going to have a little look at each other. Also, a nice ward by, I believe it was Received, that put that control ward in the top side of the river. Just behind that blue buff. But, yeah, more damage in the top lane. It's not looking too good right now for the Urgot.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of chunks, but he's still getting the push down, and he's got a few corrupting potions to rely on. He's just got to avoid the decimating smashes, and come level 6, there is an unstoppable onslaught on the other side.
Scary.
But he's always got the chance with that Fear Beyond Death ultimate.
Yeah, true. I'm just thinking though, with the Shroud, I don't think he'd actually have the damage to kill him, whereas maybe something like a Phage would be more beneficial, but
Ooh, love that positioning up top by Quantum Charlie. I think he was looking to dive.
yeah, he doesn't even have any vision, so that's just good game knowledge from Anime's bait there. Just thinking there is a possibility I have no vision, unless he walked over one of the control words, and no, that's their control word. So yeah, just Spidey senses tingling and avoids the gank.
So far, still bloodless at the 7-minute mark, fairly consistent with both of these teams. The Ocean Drake, a very good Drake for the early game due to its regeneration, is the first one up, so it'll be nice to see, first of all, how teams ward around it with vision wards in the area, and also whether teams will commit resources to getting down there and taking down the enemy team for it.
Yeah. I'm sure people at home will be wondering as well, why Zoe's going first? Maybe not. A little bit strange. I'm thinking Lost Chapter, naturally you're going to be burning the mana to spam to shove the waves, but yeah, going for the Magic Pen first, the mobility to dodge the Qs with Cassio.
Oh, here's some aggression because Received is in the bot lane, concussive blows stacked up. Sneaky Teapot is stunned, but Quantum Charlie responding here. VNS Bounce unloading damage with impunity. Firum and Teapot will be trying to kill each other. Agent Libel also under fire. Zoe comes in, and there's the first blood with the Paddlestar. Firum is the next one to be followed up on, and that's a sleepy job. And Bounce looking in for the next kill. The Glacial Prison is there, and that's going to be a 3-for-0. Venoshock coming in hot.
Oh boy, yeah, what a fantastic engage. They just collapse first. Zoe manages to get the roll on the Cassiopeia. They weren't ready for it. You know, they thought they had something with the Braum passive burning the flash, but yeah, he Received commits the EQ in. Sejuani's there, and yeah, just a fantastic punish as we see fight in the top lane. Could be something. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a walk out of there. 25% health, I believe, is the threshold for Fear Beyond Death. So Sabbath wants to get out of dodge, or get out with a dodge if he wants to avoid being killed by that ability. He's going to head back to lane without recalling, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to heal up with his last corrupting charge. He's not too fussed, but Urgo getting much more comfortable in this lane now. Obviously got more points to Q. I'm just looking. We're going to have a look at what he's actually maxing. So yeah, he's maxing the Q rather than the W. I'm not sure how much the shield goes up when you level up the W compared to the damage with Q, but the poke is obviously much better in this lane. And yeah, just a fantastic collapse from Space Dog. You wouldn't think that a team that may have only scrimmed once or twice to be so on point with a quick collapse, but yeah, very well played.
Yeah, shout to Leica as well. The Paddlestar could have hit one of 3 targets, and it was a very narrow angle to land onto the low health Braum, but it really set up that first blood and allowed the rest of Venoshock to keep going with the CC. Quantum Charlie saved his ult until the last moment as well, and managed to secure the second kill, so it's really nice to see the team working together. Whether that continues into the mid-game when there's a lot more action and the stakes are a lot higher, well, Laser Jow, it's your chance to find out. We're 10 minutes in, and Venoshock have already got a nice little lead onto the Nox. It's interesting to note that Nox were actually the community favourite for this game. 57% of the community voted for Nox to win, and Venoshock, especially with sleepy trouble bubbles like that, are trying the hardest to take the community down.
I'm hurt, you know? Not even on anyone, I'm just hurt, you know? But no, yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, it's good to see that they are, you know, coming together so fast. But yeah, you know, as you've stated, Pardon, it is only 10 minutes in. The mid-game is obviously a lot more fights to come. But the only thing that does concern me, 2 kills onto the Sejuani rather than the, you know, the Tristan, another kill onto the Smurfin. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that actually matters.
Now, interestingly, we haven't actually had a turret plate taken yet in any of the lanes. It's close in the top lane against Anime's Bay Zergot, but all of the players playing fairly safely and looking for opportunities across the map with vision. rather than going for the turret plates at this point.
Yeah, I'm just very surprised with you've got about what? So 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 5 champions at least that have strong engage, and not a turret plate taken in only 1 fight so far. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but you know, 4 and 2, 3 and 3. Both teams really want to start off with a solid win for the week, but trading back and forth now.
Yeah, it's green everywhere, and Sabbath I think got 4 Undying stacks off of that fight. Flash forced, Fear Beyond Death is not going on. There it is, 25%'s been reached. Anime's Bay gonna have to hightail it away, and Sabbath has been taken down in that solo kill by Urgot.
Oof. Well, it wouldn't be a Venoshock game without a death.
Cassiopeia's got big damage, tries to take out Zoe, Petrifying Gaze comes in, Joel comes in, takes the kill, but it's a great synergized effort by both players on Nox.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the bot side vision as well. He does have vision of him coming up. He does have 2 wards in the river, so he should have known that could happen. I'm going to just jump back 15 seconds, 20 seconds quickly, see if he does spot him on any wards. Yeah, they do see him. He does see him. He just doesn't actually take any notice of it. And yeah, just a little oopsie from Spacedog. But as you said, you know, there are going to be a lot more fights to come, and you know that's just what Nox want to show to get back into the game. You know, 500 gold lead, and yeah, just a solo kill top, a kill in the mid. Yeah, it's just what Venoshock really didn't want at this point in the game.
And yeah, Nox, they're behind in kills, they're behind on Drakes, they're of course facing down the Ocean Drake, but they've kept the gold lead by defending their turret plates and by having healthy CS leads in the mid and bot lanes. Lightbulb and Furum have been mostly hugging their tower at this point, and there goes the plate. Bounce is going to take it at 13 minutes, and it's really a measure of how well Vayne and Braum have been able to defend, that they're just waiting for the later game. We've talked a bit about scaling in the champion select phase, and there's not too much to pick between the teams, but I think if this goes to late game, my money's on Nox to take it with Vayne and Cassiopeia.
Yeah, also synergy. They've had a lot more time to play together. You know, they've had weeks now. Whereas Veno, of course, have only had a few days. So the advantage is definitely there. When you go to the later stages of shot calling, how the team is going to play around each other, and you know, with little plays like that, it's short, but still very even. 14 minutes in, and the Drake is now live. We'll see if that is contested.
Yeah, Ocean Drake on the table again, and we're going to have the Nox bot lane moving up, fairly unwarded by Venoshock, but it looks like Nox are moving towards the mid lane. They've got Received there on the top side, facing down Quantum Charlie. They've got both mid laners in the area, and Lightbulb and Furum going right back down to bot lane.
Yeah, yeah, good vision in the river, especially top side for Venoshock. Not so much bot side. Maybe they were scared of a Rift Herald being taken, but you would think this could be something. Okay.
Oh, big engage, and that's the second defensive ult from Sabbath. To be fair, it's working for him, and it gets him out of harm's way for now. Just a great collapse by Received and Anime's Bay.
Yeah, a little bit greedy. You know, his jungler is bot side, so there's just, you know, it's going to be a 2v2, 3v2 minimum. But yeah, he does have the ult to get out, already a quarter on cooldown. And we'll just see if the Drake is going to be even focused in the next 30 seconds to a minute.
And yeah, at this point with the warding that's been fairly good for both teams, it sort of implies that a team taking the Drake will have to have obtained a kill advantage, or at least pressured their opponents back to their towers. There's a lot of Venoshock action and presence in the bot lane. MHJ's just recalled, so if Venoshock can figure that out, they've got quite a lot of agency on the Dragon. Here comes Received in the top lane. There's the ult, and Sabbath is going to be taken down. Does have Glory in Death, but isn't going to do anything meaningful with it. But there's the Drake. It's going to be an instant reaction from Venoshock. They see the enemy jungler top, they go for the Drake, and they are going to take the second Ocean Drake of the game.
Yeah, it's just a shame their siege is so bad apart from Zoe. Whereas their engage is so good. So obviously, you know, Mountain Drakes around the objectives, you know, would be much more beneficial. Same with, of course, the Infernal Drakes. But Nonetheless, good trade-off. Oh,
Ooh, that's a condemn, which does disrupt the glacial prison from Sejuani. Firim flashing in to protect Agent Lightbulb from a potential paddle star, but the Smurfing had already got out of there. Venoshock turned their attention to the bot lane outer turret, and they even up the first brick that Nox took in the top lane.
yeah, it's good pressure. They know the Jarvan is obviously on the top side, so they can go for this bot lane play. Maybe Nox been a little bit disrespectful.
Oh, and there's the ult! Agent Lightbulb coming in. 4th stack stuns. The Ignite is there. Lightbulb picks up the kill before Sejuani and Alistair can respond.
It's a little bit sloppy. He pushes up himself. He has the support of his team around, but he doesn't see where the enemy bot lane are. And it's just a really, really good punish from Nox, and just kind of slows that bot lane tempo down that they just had. Plus, whilst received an enemy's big get this Rift Herald.
Yeah, it really shows the sort of fine margins between a really successful split push for Venoshock and getting caught out by a fairly well-coordinated Lightbulb and Firim CC combo. And it didn't even take too much follow-up for Agent Lightbulb, just had the Ignite coming in, had a flash coming down, and then just took the kill onto Bounce. So Vayne opening up a bit of a gold lead with that one. In fact, a lie looking at the standings, it's about even with Blade of the Ruin King going against Storm Razor as the 2 AD carries just try and get towards 2 and 3 item spikes at this stage.
He's got help on the way. Here comes Charlie and Space Dog.
Anime's Bay indeed in trouble. Sejuani doesn't have the ult but does have the power, and it's going to be Anime's Bay under threat. Flash coming out, Quantum Charlie coming in, and it's going to be a Jace under the tower. Anime's Bay is purged, he's sent to sleep, and uses the stopwatch. Zoe's still on the case. Sabbath is going for the knockup. Fear Beyond Death is going to be averted by the kill. Meanwhile, Nox are going all the way down mid. They still have the Herald, and they're going to go onto the inhibitor turret. Two players for Venoshock still recalling, and Nox are just dealing with everyone else. There's the stacks. There comes the Cataclysm out of Jarvan, and Rift Herald almost going to take the inhibitor turret down. Fantastic response.
Yeah, Sneaky Depot just doing really what he has to do, just try and disrupt this any way possible. But yeah, 2 towers in the mid for 1 kill top, not even getting a tower, having to recall. Just so much burn there just to try and kill the Urgot. I thought they were going to use the Sejuani ulti. It would have been a lot cleaner, rather just to get it done. Like, why play around with cooldowns when you want to get the kill? That's clearly your priority. But yeah, you know, that's where the inexperience of the roster being playing together comes through, where it is that split decision. 3 people top, 2 people mid. They have Herald. Guys, you need to back. But yeah, they commit to it, and yeah, they were almost punished really, really hard if they got that extra tower.
And yeah, amidst all that, credit to Mitre. He was playing on Urgot, which is a very nice champion at 1v2, 1v3 situations, due to the fear on his ult. Also in the hands of Mitre, was played very well. Stopwatch avoided the brunt of the burst damage of Zoe, and the Fear Beyond Death allowed a kill, and a Fear Zoe now engaged upon. Vayne is asleep, and that might have just saved the Smurfin's life as the top laners begin their combat again in the bot lane.
Yeah, I was going to say he also procced the E, so that even when Sion hits him with the ult, he's still able to E out of it. Yeah, just really, really well played. You know, Urgot's obviously not exactly the hardest champion in the world to play, but he played that as well as he could, really, in that situation. But they can already tell how Space Dog is playing on this Zoe. We see Received waiting over the wall, knowing he is going to R in. And he just has to be a little bit careful and try not to be too predictable when every time he goes in with this Q.
So we're reaching an important point in the game now. We've got both objectives coming up. First Baron of the game is live. Scuttlecrab protects it for Nox, 4 players around. And on the other side of the map in 30 seconds, the third Drake of the game, the Mountain Drake, is going to spawn. Fantastic for teams which are just looking to get the objectives down. Venoshock don't care though, they're engaging immediately on the support. Received is there, but there's a teleport coming in. Sabbath wants to use the unstoppable onslaught. The disengage is attempted, and Received and Firim are out of the way before Venoshock can make a kill.
I'm just scratching my head at that one, to be honest. You have... So you're ulting onto Braum. He has shield, he has someone to W to. Then you're TPing in even though they've already disengaged. And then they're doing 1-3-1 against you. A little bit of an oopsie. But I can see what they were obviously trying to go for. Like, oh guys, you know, they are split, they are 1-3-1. we can't go for it. It looks like they are going to be able to get this Drake, but it could be a chain for Baron.
Yeah, this is going to be really good if the Drake is finished. It's not, as Venoshock abandon the Drake and they go straight for Baron, which is similarly abandoned by Nox. Yeah, we've got the Scion nearby, and we're going to have the Nox team just about getting out of the way. It's interesting to note Anime's Bay doesn't have teleport. He is split pushing as Urgot. So Venoshock have an opportunity to 5v4. They're in the mid lane with the rest of the Nox team. Zoe instead recalls Sejuani looking for the flank. It might be the case that they take out Anime's Bay in the bot lane.
Yeah, the only problem is if Sejuani shows bot, they're just going to go back to Baron again. They know the Sion TP's down, they know the ultimate's down. Be very, very risky. He obviously, respectfully backs off, and it looks like they're just going to get this Drake potentially for free. We'll see if they want to trade.
Yep, it's not quite uncontested. Venoshock are in the area. Paddlestar threatened. Sejuani comes in. Smite not even there, but that's a fantastic 4-man Q from Alistair, and that might just be a fear beyond death coming in. Venoshock in a bit of trouble at the moment. MHJ laying down the damage. Lightbulb in trouble, but manages to get that final auto attack down. Venoshock just don't have the damage at the moment. Quantum Charlie around the back, but Lightbulb is going to appear as well. Lightbulb just about taken down in a 1-for-1, but overall, Nox are going to have the measure of Venoshock in that fight. 4 for 1 trade.
I just think imagine if they had the Scion ulti coming in there, Bounce still dies with heal, still dies with ultimate up. It's just a little bit of a shame. It was a fantastic engagement from Sneaky Tipo getting that 4-man pulverize. They're not going to go for Baron. It looks like they're going to go for the inhib instead. Low mana bar, nothing much they could do with Lightbulb dying. Charlie killing Agent Lightbulb off probably saves that Baron, to be fair. And yeah, they're not going to get anything for it, which is the saving grace for Venoshock.
Yeah, the blue buff is gutted, but when you consider the prices that Venoshock could have paid, it's a fairly small one by comparison to the inhib turret, the inhib, or indeed the Baron, which is still live, and now becomes a nice priority for Venoshock, knowing that Nox are on the back of a play and partly respawning.
Yeah, I'm just having a look down. Item spikes coming in. Zoe hasn't got the 2 items yet. Tristana's.
Ooh, Teapot going in, doesn't quite get the WQ, doesn't interrupt the recall. Agent Lightbulb might have bitten off more than he could chew. Here comes the Scion, and doesn't get the knockup, but Agent Lightbulb is low. Alistair comes in, that's a setup, that's a knockdown, and Venoshock take a kill could be a prelude to a Baron here, as the enemy marksman is down.
Yeah, he just walks up himself. He has no summoners. Why are you there? There's no reason to be walking up yourself. There's no rush. And duly punished. Well played to Venoshock, but it's still jungler alive, still 50-50. Level 12 to level 12. Here comes the TP from Urgot.
Yep, steal on the table. Venoshock getting harassed. Jobin's going to have to move in. Alistair knocks away, but Urgot's going to land the fear beyond death. The steal does not come through. It's going to be Venoshock taking the Baron, but the fight comes in. Cassiopeia dealing heavy damage, and Urgot continuing to chase the Alistair. It's already a 2-for-1 for Nox, and they're going to continue to threaten. They don't pick up the Baron, but they knock Baron off 2 of 5 players of Venoshock.
Yeah, you'll take that to Venoshock. 30 seconds to a minute ago, you're staring down at losing the Baron, but Agent Lightbulb dies twice, which means the priority goes over to Venoshock. Rightly so, they go to the Baron. They managed to get it. I believe it was down to 17 HP on that Baron when he took it. It was very, very close. And we'll see how much they're able to pressure, because obviously the scaling is with Nox, and that is obviously very, very scary.
Yeah, Nox looking
13 HP
powerful.
That Baron went down to, just went back.
Oh wow, 13, and that was from received smite.
Yeah, so Joe goes in, he smites, and I believe it was an auto attack from Charlie that actually gets the Baron. Amazing.
Oh man, the smallest differences you get in League of Legends. There's no ADC there. The jungler comes in, and 13 HP is the difference. That's less than a Sunfire tick, to be honest. And when that's the difference between a Baron through the team, it's some spectacular theatre we've got. On the other hand, Venoshock got out of there. They managed to get out of there with 3 players, and they're going to go for the all-powerful Baron power play. Here comes Mitre, though. He's caught out. Here comes the CC. Glacial Prison in there. Explosive shot, and VNS Bounce picks up his first kill of the game.
Yeah.
And takes down the enemy top laner.
I mean, 6-1 Urgot, you're going to be more than happy to get that pick. I actually just double-checked, and it was actually a 13 HP smite from Charlie. So yeah, that was a very, very thin margin. So unlucky that Joel didn't manage to steal that, but good pick. This is what I was talking about. They need to put the pressure on. They have this Baron. They need to really get something going.
And they're doing that now. Sion coming in and stops the ult short before it can fully engage into Nox. Venoshock taking another turret in the mid lane. That's their third of the game. They're 300 gold behind Nox, but they're trying to put that right with the Baron power play and minions pushing in the top lane.
Yeah, they have at least 2 lanes pushing at the moment. They might just naturally rotate to this top lane, try and get the tier 2, but yeah, it's not the most impactful Baron in the world. Nox no. Oh, pardon me. Nox no, obviously, we lose the fight now, we lose the game. They have to play respectful, they lose their top laner, and it looks like they're just going to back off after getting these couple of towers, so it's not the biggest, but at least they're right back into the game.
Yeah, the safe play is there. The gold lead is fairly non-existent for Nox at the moment. It's even on towers. The only significant difference was the Baron and is the 3 Drake lead that Venoshock have. The 3rd Ocean Drake of the game, massive regen on the table right now for Sieges, is being contested, and Nox looking for their first Drake. May not get it as Veno pile in.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Urgot currently has a 2.7k gold lead.
Smite's on the table, and there's the steal coming in from Receive.
Damage.
He's going to get knocked up. The fight's all there. Glacial Prison misses as Venoshock try and land something, but that's going to be a fear.
Oh, the fear!
Follow up onto Bounce, who's obliterated, and a kill on Received is not going to be consolation for Venoshock, as Sabbath is taken down. Agent Lightball firing off massive damage in the back of the fight. One, then another gets a 2nd kill of the game. Suddenly a 4-for-1 trade emerges for Nox.
Yeah, they just, you got the Smithy ult from Charlie, you've got the Sabbath ult. I believe that he died with his ult up. I'm not even too sure if that's Quiet Bug. Bounce dies before getting ult off again. Just these little small margins that could have made the difference, but yeah, again, really good team fight from Nox. This will definitely be breaking the base. Could be even more. Nope, misses a Q.
Yep, Zoe trying to get stuff onto Brown, but Furim's going to hightail it out of there for now. Inhibitor it down, first inhibitor of the game. It's going to be broken by Nox here at the 28-minute mark. But the intriguing thing is, while Nox have the territory and have the lead at the moment, Venoshock have shown they can contest with the Baron, that they can pick players off like the rest of them with kills onto Lightbulb and Anime's Bay. Quantum Charlie is nearby. He's got Glacial Prison in 10. Sion is going to ult here. Sabbath looking to catch out the Urgot. Roar of the player slows, but Tristana can't quite get into range. MHJ and Furum with the disengage, but Venoshock are all here. Nox are all here. This is a 10-man strike, and Banshee's Veil just about intercepts the ult. Damage everywhere. Vayne Cassiopeia unloading. Urgot able to unload a fear beyond death. And the damage is coming in from Agent Lightbulb and MHJ. 2 kills for Cassiopeia, 1 for Vayne, 1 for Jarvan. Anime's Bay is just going to stand there and jump away from Sion at the last moment. That's an ace. Throw some BM in there. Nox are knocking down the opponents.
I just wonder why they go for why try go for that so hard. I don't. You burnt your Sion ulti to get nothing. Your Sejuani ult's missed. At that point, leave, back out. You're not getting anything. As Joe, he's just gonna just dies for the sake of a bit of the end, just dies. And yeah, just unfortunately going to be a Nox win. It just ends so abruptly. It's just such a shame after such a good game. 30 minutes. Your averages are right. We got the Kraden statistics coming out, and 30-minute game time again, and yeah, one of these teams just comes out on top.
Yeah, I'd love to claim them as my own, but that's all Steam Golem material right there. The Nox living up to the game, but I think it sort of shows where the stats come from, because Veno and Nox, they're known for their fairly safe lanes. They're fairly tanky compositions, not completely green, but on the way there. But it's that sort of thing that you just saw, Demo, the reckless aggression without maybe considering wards or positions that leads from a fairly stable, let's take a tower for an objective, let's take the other side objective for the other tower, into a complete ace at this sort of level. And before Vayne and Cass could get going, maybe Venoshock thought that was their last throw of the dice before they reach late game, but as we pointed out in Champ Select, they've got Tristana, they've got Zoe who can land very powerful one-shots, and they've got a really solid vision game, so it's interesting to see why Venoshock went in so abruptly and went in so recklessly. But I think you'll agree, Demo, that was one of the biggest keys to them losing the game there.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're only down 1 inhib, which is mid. Like, you're at 30 minutes into the game, you can clear these waves. Now, I'm just having a look at damage. When Silence doing your most damage on your team at 12,000 at 30 minutes, it's not really a lot. You expect Zoe to be doing more. You expect maybe Bounce to be doing a bit more, especially when he is hitting this front line. It's just a bit of a shame that it's just ended so abruptly like that. They're forcing right into the miasma. All the cooldowns are back. You've been chasing, it's a minute and a half after you've just fought. Maybe they thought, where their cooldown's down, they haven't backed, they haven't spent their gold. Maybe they could take that fight. But in the end, the over-aggression just cost them the game.
And indeed it did. Nox managed to capitalise, and after a walkover win against SRG Kaylee earlier, Nox now extend their record to an imperious 6-2. Firum has managed to jump from Igni. He's not quite reached the same record as Igni, who as far as I know are still undefeated at the top of the table. But it's Nox that are looking towards the top end of the table. Venoshock, they've still got a bit of instability. There's plenty of time for them to recover. There's another 7-8 weeks of regular season. Mm-hmm. They've definitely got the mechanics and the sense to succeed. It's just a case of application as we get through this league. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be cutting off in a moment before we move to our final game. I have to ask you, Demo, I believe you're casting this next one.
Yes.
It's going to be AMG in this. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I believe Jack is spamming Igni. I don't really know why. Is it meant to say MVP, VIP, Igni?
That's a good shout, actually. We probably should have ordered MVP. It's not quite as clear cut as in Game 1, but there's several strong players.
I'm gonna have to give it to Mitri. I think he was fantastic on the Surgot. Of course, it's not the most mechanical champion in the world, but the top lane dive, he played it fantastic. He played laning phase very well. He did apply the pressure where he had to. Didn't really miss an ulti. Did obviously the most damage in the game, and was just a huge frontline for Nox and a big reason why they were able to take the game.
Yeah, no real one player that sort of took the team on their back, but Mitre was as good as that in defensive play in that dive, as you said, getting the push down with the dematerializer and creating a lot of opportunities. So no perfect games for anyone, but if anyone's deserving of an MVP, it's going to Mitre for Nox in that one. Yeah. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to head off. I believe, Demo, you'll be casting with Few Pew for the final game tonight, which is, after a bit of rescheduling, your boys AMG against Genesis Green. So we'll catch you in a few minutes, and by we, I mean Demo and Few Pew. Until then, have a nice break, and if you're not tuning back in, have a great night.
See you soon.
Okay. Or am I starting the cast?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. How long to wait?
No.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not in the lobby yet. Wait a second.
Are you not? Yeah, sure. Are you not there? You awesome?
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's my first time. I'm getting confused by the setup.
I see. I see. I thought we had this plan where you were just going to come in, host, and welcome back to Equinox League. This is the
Oh
third
yes,
game.
I can do that if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is all yours. Floor is all
Thank
yours.
you. Welcome back to the Equinox League. We're now watching the Genesis Green game versus AMG. Both of these teams are currently ranked in sort of middle of the board, both sharing 5th place right now. So if nothing else, then at least we're gonna get a change up in the standings after this game. Looking forward to that.
Yep. Yeah, we do have. I believe Aquamarine at 7-1 now. I think, or is it 7? No, 6-1, 6-1, 7-1. I need to have a check.
Aquamarine game is at 6-1. Never mind. Yeah, Aquamarine is at 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1 now. So yeah, so obviously looking to go 7-1, just keep on Igni's tails. Whereas Genesis Green been 4-3 now.
Yeah,
Looking to
maybe
try break into the top 4.
climb up in the standings here. Yeah. It seems that no team is able right now to challenge the domination of Igni, 8-0 with 100% win rate here.
Yeah, no, not yet. Obviously a very, very strong team, but if any team is going to do it, it is going to be Aquamarine Gaming. They are obviously looking very, very strong. I know earlier they had a very, very solid win, 25 minutes. I believe Genesis Green had a forfeit win. So we'll see what this game brings. Both teams I believe are pretty strong. As you said, top half.
Top half, yeah.
Should be in for quite a good game.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Just waiting for startup, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just thinking when are we going to start? I mean, I know I'm just going to type that we are ready. I'm hoping that they will be ready very shortly. I'm not too sure. Okay, so we're just waiting on EMG. I don't know if they're doing any last minute preparation. They shouldn't be. Oh, for God's sake, it's Noah. Noah would be missing.
Would be really unfortunate if we had to go to sort of last minute forfeit or something like that.
No, I think he's just a bit slow. To be honest, I don't think it's anything else other than that. But I would be looking for probably another draft where it's going to be Aquamarine, wanting the scaling comp. Compared to Genesis Green, who, I know they do like the Kazakhs picks. They like taking the Urgot, getting them something safe top lane. And they like to play through bot lane as well. So, it could be a clash of styles. That's something definitely to look out for. Is there anything you're kind of, leaning towards? Anything that interests you about this matchup?
You know what I'm really looking forward to? I'm really hoping one of the teams to pick up the Kaisa, actually. Just because, really? Yeah. Kaisa's pretty strong right now, especially in the LCK. It's also a really fun AD carry to watch, so I'm actually really hoping that one of the teams picks that up in this game.
Yeah, along with the Vayne. I think there's nothing like a bit of Vayne spotting.
Yeah.
Not too sure that if Noah's going to be able to get his hands on the Vayne, or even if they want to pick it, but yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. I'm hoping, as we see in our chat, I think Noah's getting getting a lot of flame right now, but they are ready. I'm glad I don't have to go in and just flame them.
Yeah, let's be happy. This this chat isn't public. Oh, there we go. And drafting, yeah.
That's the one. I wonder they're going to ban. I'm figuring they're not going to let him have the Kazakhs. He seems to be picking a lot of that so far.
They're surely gonna get rid of the OP picks like the Aatrox and so on. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you just don't want to deal with that stuff, you know.
Yeah, true. No, exactly.
A low risk, high reward. If you get hit by that third Q sweet spot, then your whole team misses half their HP bars, and it feels bad.
Yeah. It's just so frustrating to deal with when he's running at you. Obviously, it hasn't been really touched. 9.2, kind of one of the champions that has been left untouched. But we're going to see the thing. I feel like a lot of teams in drafts now, first pick isn't really the major priority anymore. It's more red side. There are just so many power picks right now that you'll take one, but you're most likely going to give up two, and that's why we see, across all regions of professional play, that it's mostly six of the just OPs. The Aurelia, Aatrox. I said this in the last game. The Aurelia, Aatrox, Cassio. They're just all gone, completely gone. 6 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, straight off the bat gone.
Yeah.
We're seeing power pick junglers. We're seeing the Lissandra thrown in as well.
We see the Xin Zhao getting banned away, which again, in the LCK, the Xin Zhao is a real horror to deal with.
Yeah, he's just
the Halo
such a
Blades
frustrating
level
jungler.
2 ganks, and you're done.
Yeah, the Halo Blades now gets that red smite early. It's just an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Red smite did
rightfully
get
banned away.
tiny nerf on this patch, but not that substantial.
What, Rakan?
No, the red smite.
Oh, red. I thought you said Rakan. I was going to say Rakan's.
Rakan as well got a nerf, but
adios.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so more standard coming through.
Yeah, really
oh no, I am wrong. Aquamarine get red side. I figured I see them on the left. So they are going to be able to get the double power pick, which I'm hoping that they're going to be able to use. Did they miss a ban?
I think they did. I saw the timer counting down. I wasn't sure what happened.
I was right in the first place. Okay, I was right. They missed a ban.
Yeah.
I think maybe for being late.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly. So they take the Vayne.
I thought there was a mistake being made here.
Yeah, there's still, there's still things like, the Cassio, the Karthus. There's a lot of. Okay.
The Twitch. Right now, I'm hoping the Twitch is a cheese jungler pick, because I still want the Kai'Sa, but it's not looking positive right now.
Okay, so they're going for the Igni special. They're thinking, okay, your team loves this late game 40-minute scaling. We're going to take it to you. We're going to take the exact same thing. So I'm just going
to red IRL combo.
Yeah, they're going to go for the good old L9.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Braum obviously will block a lot of the damage that's going to come through from Twitch. But yeah, we're going to. It's going to be very. Okay, so they're going to go for the. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about the Zac. I really don't. I find.
Yeah.
Zac's going to really struggle later on in the game to get onto this Twitch. If he misses the E, gets kited out, polymorphed, could be a bit of trouble. But laning phase, 100%. Oh, that makes it even better. Okay, yeah, laning phase. Morgana's just going to flash onto the two of them. Should be one of them.
They really want to just get onto this Twitch here.
But this could be. Oh, okay. I definitely feel like Genesis they really do know what they want to pick right now. Olaf is obviously going to counter both Zac, CC, and Morgana. He's going to be able to run at the Vayne. But will get shredded by Vayne. But we'll see where the bans lie. If they're going to target more mids, or if they're going to go for pack on that top lane.
Yeah, because top and mid lane too, both the solo lanes is completely open right now.
Okay.
And Nivea being banned.
Yeah, they just don't want that. They don't want James on any of the more safer mid laners. They want to put him on something that maybe requires not the ability to be able to just sit back.
It seems like quite a specialist ban. Maybe a bit of scouting going on for James's pocket picks or interests. Yeah, see, his second most played champion last season was that Anivia. Maybe a specialized ban.
Just behind that Orianna. Sorry, I had to run to the door real fast. Behind that Orianna, which we don't see banned. It's going to be the Urgot. Fairly standard. Paka is able to neutralize most lanes with that pick.
Let's see if it's maybe. Do they ban the Scion here, or are they fine with it?
Well, they do need a tank, and I believe it would be a good ban. Maybe they might just go for another mid lane ban. The Swain's going to be taken away. Okay, so Lyro's Swain. They don't want something that's able to do damage, plus soak up a lot in the front line. But yeah, very interesting one. Oh, as they take the Scion.
Yeah, exactly. It seems they're really putting all their eggs in the Twitch basket so far.
Yeah,
Relying really much on him to carry this game.
It's very risky, but high risk, high reward at this stage. You got the front line, you have the Twitch scaling. Same with the Vayne and the Morgana Black Shield. It might just be hard to get onto them. They're going to go for the Shen, so this is going to be AD carry versus AD carry. This could be, yes, I really do like this.
Oh, that Cassio, hell yeah.
That's going to help a real lot when it comes to being grounded.
Doesn't really help against that Olaf, though, fortunately.
I was just going to say, not going to go for the Orianna, but they are going to go all in.
Okay.
Noah 1v9 hype train.
James's most played champion last season. Probably him wanting to go for some comfort right here.
Yeah.
You also get that nice Zac Orianna delivery system.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, okay, they're going to go for this. Okay, yeah, very good in lane. I mean, 2-item Spike's going to be very, very strong for Syndra compared to Orianna. Should have the control. But, you're playing into a Zac, a mobile mage, and Syndra. It comes with a little bit of risk.
Yeah.
But, Noah gets the Vayne again. Protect him again. He feels like a very much repeated comp, which is what I was sneakily trying to get them away from, because it will become very, very predictable. But cool in this draft it has, as Genesis, want to go for the exact same comp. They're just like, okay, they're going to scale, we're going to scale. Let's see who wins at 40 minutes.
It's going to be interesting to see where these junglers put their focus, because it seems like with the Twitch, you sort of want to get the Twitch fed, get them rolling. But still, do you want to devote more time to the mid lane matchup, or are you just expecting Syndra to do it on her own?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when Olaf can literally just run the Orianna down.
Yeah. We'll see. Waiting 3 minutes to get into the game. So what are you expecting for the early game here then? Wait, I might. There you are. What happened?
Yes, I got disconnected, unfortunately.
I was starting to wonder.
Oh, for God's sake, yeah. My internet cable was
I was getting worried. I'd be.
Oh, no, don't worry. I wouldn't go anywhere. Just technical issue. Family, what can you do? I wish I lived alone. But yeah, at least it's still 2.5 minutes till we get into the game. It's nothing too important.
Yeah. Are you expecting much from this early game? Any aggression?
Not really.
Nah.
Zac will probably most likely want to get 2 points in E before he ganks.
Yeah.
Whereas Olaf can gank level 2, but you got tank versus tank top lane. The Black Shield bot. It's going to be really, really risky. The only place
we can assume the Orianna is going to play a bit defensively early game.
Yeah, you can see him. The only place I can see him really going is mid lane. A Syndra stun, the Olaf Q, just run her down.
Yeah.
Just have the ignite. That could be a potential, but you take out one shield, you have 2 more. You got the Shen, you got the Morgana. So it's a case of they have more shields, so do they win? They have 3 shields compared to Genesis only have 1.
Yeah.
Does that mean they win?
And the Scion as well, I guess.
But yeah, they are going to have the Scion coming through. Now I do see in a lot of Korean builds. I'll say Korean. It's more standard now. The Redemption Rush from Olaf.
The strange change to the champion.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see that come through as well, which could make all the difference.
Righteous glory, run down, slam your face against the enemy, and hope it goes well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. See a lot of Predator support supportive item rushes now. You will see, pardon me. You get the locket, you get redemption. It's something definitely different compared to the champion. It's just known for just running at people, doing a lot of damage regardless with base and damage. But we could see something different here. And yeah, I'm glad we're 30 seconds away from getting into games with the spectator at least.
Yeah.
I think the stream is ahead actually.
It's ahead this time.
Yeah, I think the stream is actually ahead.
I saw that I've been lagging behind the last 2 games.
Yes. Not too sure. It's been the other way around generally. We've been to kind of get in. Now it seems to be we're behind.
The stream chat's probably very annoyed by us sitting here not knowing anything about what's going on.
Not yet. Mostly just asking where I am, and the fact that the Vixels pointed out that the Olaf W does give him even more increased healing now. So that was obviously help when he is engaging and just run at the enemy team. But yeah, nothing really too special in terms of runes. PTA for the Vein. Same with the Twitch. Predator Rush gonna be for the Olaf. Grasp versus Grasp. Yeah, nothing really special coming out.
Yeah, and the sort of trade-off you get with the Predator rune is, you don't really get your keystone before that first back, so the first clear not really sort of limits your opportunity to gank on that first clear, really.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I wonder if he will just do the same thing, like the Gragas Rush, just one side back, Pred boots, other side, maybe look for a potential gank. Yeah, but generally, maybe he might go to the top lane, long lane, Olaf Q slow, possibly to get the Shen, but I'm mostly thinking around this mid lane early on. See if that's what comes of it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just hopefully everyone's got a drink, maybe something to eat. Should be in for a good game. Should be in for maybe a 40-50 minute game where both AD carries are trying to 1v9, but
yeah,
you just never know. You just never know. Some other players might join in the game.
I'm in game now. Are you in game?
Oh no, I just mean in terms of like actually trying to carry the game.
No,
they might just join in. They might just try and help their team carry the game. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, clearly both teams confident in their AD's ability to carry. We'll see which one comes out on top.
Just to check how far into game are.
I am 32 seconds right now.
Okay, wonderful. We're synced up. The Zac holding the mid lane is some interesting type of mind games here.
Yeah, I'm
trying to hide that opening, or trying to hide where the rest of the
want to show where he starts. The ward in that bush is pretty big priority right now. Obviously, both scuttles being good tested level 2. Yeah, pretty standard. Nothing special going on. No invade with Morgbind and no invade with with Olaf Q. Sorry. And
but as that Sack, you don't really want to fight the Olaf for the Skull Crab, so we'll have a tiny advantage there, I guess, for Genesis.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's going to be the advantage in the early game to Kenobi on this, but we'll see if he wants to actually do anything with it.
We'll also get to see if the Olaf really punishes the weaker early game of the Zac this game.
True.
Earlier today, in the LCK, Peanut played that Zac and got a really free early game. See if General Kenobi lets that happen this game.
Yeah, we'll see if Mr. Pineapple can have a good early game on the Zac. Obviously, very, very comfortable pick for him. Very disruptive. And we'll really be able to get onto this backline early stages of the game. Nothing new top lane. Sion shoving him with Q.
Yeah.
We'll say pretty standard safe clears from the junglers right now.
Top lane giving us a flashback to the good old-fashioned tank meta days of 2 tanks in top lane just slapping on each other.
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really think there is a better tank player than Paka in the league. There might be. Extinct Dark could be someone to prove that wrong, but you know, Paka just seems to be very, very comfortable just picking these tanks. He's going to sit in lane, knows his job, sort of thing. Bit of trading back in the mid lane, but yeah, nothing too special as of yet.
Yeah, we really shouldn't be expecting too much aggression from either side this or early this game because there's not much for any of them to do. Just try to farm up.
Good trade, no? Good trade for the Shen. Uses W very well. Obviously, blocks the auto attacks. Sidril could have
Very
complete
nice.
lane
Something
power
happening in
right
the
now.
jungle here. Olaf invading that blue buff.
Both level 3, but both the solo lanes have the priority now. Is going to get trapped up by the Q.
Oh, we might get some aggression here.
Syndra stunned.
Sion gets there first,
to
hits
burn
the
the
stun on
flash.
Orianna. Orianna has to flash it, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be able to skew that blue buff, but unfortunately it costs the mid laner's attention and it costs his flash, which is obviously going to be alarm bells for this Olaf, especially with the gank setup that obviously Syndra can provide with the stun.
And also Orianna being pushed up right now. Doesn't seem Olaf wants to take advantage of the...
Yeah, even though both mids are similar mana levels, but yeah, surprisingly could literally just walk on her. Doesn't have Predator, but does have flash. Obviously has Q. Yeah, maybe a little bit of too much safety from Olaf.
Oh, misses that stun. What happened there?
I believe he just didn't put his Q down. As the Q was to the left of the Orianna, but
Oh, okay. He threw the minion. Never mind. Fortunate right there.
Well, yeah, Sion is obviously now Shen will have free pass. Oh, okay. But they're going to whiff. Pretty passive early game, I believe. Feel like both solo lanes will be able to catch up in CS. I don't think they'll be behind for too long. Probably equalise, and yeah, bot. Obviously, even in farm as well. Nothing really special. Nothing for us to get hyped about, sadly.
No, unfortunately.
Another one of these famous AMG drafts. And yeah, it's a nice ward behind them though. I wonder if Silent. I wonder how far they are off 6. See that ward behind them in the bush. They are going to be able
getting
to
cleared up by Zac now.
There we go. Okay, very good ward though.
Very good ward, yeah.
Yeah,
Potential for something to happen there.
Sion, just a little bit into level 5. I was thinking if he was close to 6, maybe the TP ward coming in.
Yeah.
That could have been a big play, but
no, but Mr. Pineapple doesn't want us to have any fun.
No, he smartly sweeps out the burst and goes on his way, and we're back to a passive early game.
It seems neither of these teams wanted to play in the draft. Seems neither of them wanted to really play the first 15. Oh, never mind. Here comes the Olaf invading.
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. Has
just
he's
walks
gonna
out.
make the jump away. No CC to stop the Zac E, and he's just gonna walk to the other side of the map. Does give bot control potentially to the Olaf.
Shen getting a bit low here.
Yeah, he hasn't backed. I just realised that he is still sitting on Dawn Shield. A little bit greedy.
Yeah, still has that TP. Not gonna matter too much.
Did try. I think he did just try and get that shoved as quickly as I could, but Extinct Dark not allowing him to. As here comes the Olaf.
Oh, the Predator being activated.
Yeah, Black
Spell
Shield.
Shield's on.
Yeah, Black Shield on. Q isn't going to slow. Just really clutching at straws. Oh, nice juke of the Q.
Sion doesn't care about those tower shots, just tanking them for free.
Yeah, he's not fussed one way or the other. But yeah, fairly passive. 7 minutes in. Just having a look at the board. Only one summoner down, and that is the Orianna Flash. That is it. Every summoner available. So even if we do get proactivity from something, could be the stun's going to land. Could be something here. No flash. Does have a heal.
That's the ulti coming out. Gets the heal. Yeah. Ignite goes on, but doesn't get the kill.
That's what I was about to, when I was about to finish that. Could be something here though. He does have flash. Okay. They're gonna happen again.
Both sides use all their abilities. Both sides decide to back off.
Noodle fight, noodle fight. To be fair, one's winning a bit more than the other, but yeah, it's really going to happen there. It's just a little bit of a shame. There's nothing really happening.
That Shenkyu giving him that tiny noodle.
Yeah, there's nothing really for you to get your play-by-play mind into. There's nothing exciting going on.
Yeah.
Any of you are at home, go play a solo queue game, come back, we'll still be here. We'll still be here 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
We're not going to be going anywhere. Well, if it's going to be getting pretty low though. It's going to be fine. Zach's not really going to look to be with no real pressure in lanes, especially around mid.
Yeah, playing that jungle and that jungle Olaf can sometimes be heart attack inducing. You're supposed to get as low as possible for that attack speed, but suddenly you die to wolves and your entire team starts question mark pinging you.
Yeah.
Unfortunate life, really.
Yep, even CS, I was going to say across the board, especially jungle, bot lane 4 apart, 2 in the top lane, only mid 12, double.
Yeah, tiny advantage there, and also Orianna going to lose the next wave as well.
Yep, yeah, she's coming back, but I mean, Sidra does have that ability to obviously shove a lot easier. QW in the wave really dies. Probably going to back for Lost Chapter, maybe boots control ward, something like that. We just see the flat damage coming out of James. Maybe looking for this next shockwave to just hurt a little bit more, maybe guarantee the kill.
James has the double amp tome. Is he maybe trying to get the Luden's Echo, or what's he trying to get?
He will be. He's just going 2 amp tones of the Lost Chapter.
Doesn't want that Sapphire Crystal.
Yeah, he just doesn't feel like he needs it. I mean, he's already down to a half mana. He will obviously collect the blue. Sion has smartly went and warded. Paka will be looking to come down on this Shen, but oh, there we go. Bit more slapping back and forth. Oh boy. Oh, misses the eat. To be fair, one is clearly winning this at the moment. Oh, good dodge, good juke. The Rolex on Twitch, but yeah, nothing really happened 10 minutes in. The only thing I'm sad about is that there isn't 100 CS on both sides from each lane. Considering there's not a lot of pressure on either of them from junglers.
Yeah, CS have been falling a bit behind, even though fighting has been minimal.
We have, 50, 60, 70, and 90. Seems to be the trend from the game so far. But yeah, both AD carries almost getting 10 CS per minute. Another binding goes wide. Not really landing. The only thing is, Zach will always generally be useful in terms of his TC, whereas Olaf just falls off in case of a cliff. But with this new build, maybe we'll still give him some. Okay, gets a flash.
The Orianna ulti misses wide there.
Yep, I'm hoping though that the flash is down for another 5 minutes. I'm hoping that they are going to repeat gank this lane. Please do, please. Oh,
yeah, please do.
Yeah, we just want to kill, we want something. Damage the ignite down! Oh, first blood, there we go!
Really close. That's the first blood. I realize now I'm a tiny second behind you and it's really freaking me out.
Oh god, sorry, I didn't
No, it's fine.
Behind. I'm just so happy there's a first blood.
Yeah.
In the game, here comes Olaf though, Shadow and Predator.
Oh, gets that Shen shield down, does. The Olaf almost taken down here. Gets the heal.
Yeah, he has to pull his flash. I mean, thinking he does. Oh, wait, okay.
Oh, that's a strange stun getting it there.
How did that? Yeah, I was gonna say, how did that land? That stun. He burns the heal preemptively. Nice heal. And here comes Zach. Those gonna be able to land.
Is that Q?
Oh, flashes to land the next part of the Q. Taunt flash.
Nice taunt, and that's taken down. Well played.
Yeah, it's gonna be a kill. Yeah, I mean, gets it with a sliver of health, but yeah, makes it work. The stretch and strike was obviously going to time it very, very shortly. Consider no flashing. Yeah, we wanted them to punish it in the next 5 minutes, and
Pineapple was determined on that one.
Yeah, Julian.
Seemed like he was just pulling the team after. No, go, we go.
Yeah. Well, I want this.
Yeah.
I want an assist. Jeez,
he's thinking about us.
yeah. I hope he is thinking about me actually. Thinking of the mistakes he may be making, but yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at the proactivity of the junglers. maybe maybe I'm not looking at the full picture. Maybe the lanes haven't quite allowed them to be able to get in, but yeah, it just seems that it's been a little bit too slow. I was hoping for some advantage anywhere.
Yeah, we didn't get the
A kill onto Shen and a kill onto Morgana. Ugh, it's not gonna change the game, is it really?
Yeah, you really prefer the kill onto that Vayne, or the Orianna, but really that Vayne.
Yeah, yeah, but it's gonna still scaling up quite nicely. It does have the Blade of the Rune King first, even though Twitch around for the Greaves. And we'll just see if Zac is still going to return back to this mid lane. Syndra still no flash. Oh, good knockback.
Very nice knockback right there. But does get the stretching strikes ulti.
Yes.
Oh, he's taken down. He's gonna die.
James? Nope, okay. Oh, bot lane 2v2. Oh! Is he gonna go down? No heal? Could be the last tick.
Gets that lifesteal from the Bork.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean, the Twitch Lolo should generally always be able to win the 2v2. Unless the Vacant them is able to come in, but yeah, they played the lane very well. Oh.
Gets that Skull Crab, well done right there. Keeps fighting. See if we get the
taunt.
tank fight here.
Have ulti.
Sion ulti gets hit. Misses that Q. That was interesting aiming there. Gets the switching strikes. Oh, really nice play right there.
Okay,
Sion
the flash.
misses the kidnap.
Kid. Oh god. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I didn't see the first part of that Q though. It looked a bit straight. Piney's just had the Q already onto the Olaf and then just boom.
Zac-Q. No, he hit the max range Zac-Q.
Okay. I just didn't see it come through. It was just so fast, but yeah.
Really nice hitting it out.
Yeah, gets another flash, obviously being a lot more proactive than the Olaf, which is good to see. Still very, very slow. I presume we're both expecting still to be a 40-minute game. I don't think any team will snowball far enough.
No.
But they get a big enough advantage.
Especially when the kills end up on the Zac and the Shen and so on.
Yeah. So another gank though.
Again, very nice ease from the Thunder. Does get hit by the stretching strike. Still get. Oh, that's
doesn't have flash again.
clinical.
Here comes Bottle.
That Predator has been popped. Doesn't see the Vayne. Doesn't hit the Q. Keeps just hitting on the Shen. Shield goes down.
And nobody goes down. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ah, good stopwatch from Fantasy. Not
Did
gonna go down.
cancel that Shen ultimate there? I didn't see it.
Oh, he must have done. Yes.
Could have maybe turned it around if the channel got completed there. Well done by Extinct Arc to cancel that then. Guess the first tower in the mid lane. It's not every day you see that.
Oh yeah, it was just silent channel in the queue. Stops that channel, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean that's what happens when your Syndra dies 3 times. You're going to be able to get the mid priority. And,
Yeah,
good punish. Oh, unfortunately misses the cube.
Oh, misses the Q completely. That's feels bad man moment when standing in the middle of the minion wave. Impossible to hit the.
A little bit of an oopsie, but at least they have an advantage clearly in the mid lane.
Yeah, and also the CS difference is really. Remember, the Syndra was about 3 minion waves up on the Orianna.
Yeah, and now they
Those
are.
guys really been able to turn it around.
Yeah, back. Turn back 4 waves now, a wave in his favour. Both AD carries, I presume, will be happy where they are in the point game, but yeah.
I mean, neither Vayne or the Witcher often. They're fine with it going to 40, 50, 60 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think we will be though.
I'm not, but they are.
I don't think people watching will be either.
No.
But I'm just having a look at build path as well. We see the Scion, Frozen Heart, Bramble Vest already coming through, whereas the Shen completed that Titanic. He's obviously a lot squishier, so if any fights do happen to break out, he's nowhere near going to be as tanky as the Scion. So maybe that may have a part to play. Even with Vayne having the Shred, it's not exactly this early on. Ooh, a lot of damage coming out, but
Yeah, you see the Scion stacking. They are trying to avoid that health. Those health items, trying to not give Vayne more true damage there.
yeah, we just see him generally just why you're hurting yourself kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
seems to be the wave at the moment. The Bramble Vest seems to be turning the matchup, obviously, but
Yeah, the Shen no longer slapping the Scion around.
oof, a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know why I just didn't sit on the team. But anyway, Moby Boots coming out from Morgana now. Oh, here comes the gank. Oh,
That's what
fantastic.
that Q does hit the.
That's one kill.
Kidnap onto the Twitch.
It's going to be 2. Ooh. This could be bad for Genesis. That 2 kills onto the Vayne now. Fantastic from Friday. Maybe could have done it earlier, but
Finally, the Vayne gets that.
yeah, you know, that's 2-0-1 now, and I believe that's what. Yep, a 1100 gold in the lead for Vayne. That could be all they need to snowball this game. 6-0, 4,000 gold up, and that's what AMG will be looking to do. Is just completely play around this boss side now.
Yeah, it's not looking good. That's not looking good at all for the, especially not the Twitch. Doesn't really like the an opponent being fed now.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
gets the tower, gets that solo kill.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Yeah,
How did that happen?
I was just looking away. I just looked away on the map for 1 second, and
Sion gets the solo kill onto the shed.
he just Q into ult, tower dies, and just auto attack.
Orianna getting ganked in mid lane. That he pops the Ragnarok, but just has to casually run back out.
Sion is in trouble here though.
That Vayne laying down the hurt. Gets the double knockup. Will it save him though? I don't think so. Oh, Dark Brownie goes wide.
Oh, he just knew. He knew the damage output. You see, no, I'm not even bothered. He knew that. He knew that auto attack was going to kill him.
Yeah.
He's played the champion enough. He wasn't even bothered or determined. Thank you very much.
Immediately walks back after the auto attack gets cast.
Yeah, not coming through. Does Orianna have ulted? No, okay. They're not going to be able to get the kill again onto the Orianna.
Ignite taking down, does not take her down.
Oh! That was nice.
Wow, that's the snipe right there.
Oh, how did
Zach coming down with the
Oh my god!
Misses the Q. Oh, that's a feels bad moment. The Olaf is gonna go down, isn't he?
Oh, he's still lost to 1 health. We're gonna see
wow.
those all attacks, but Kenobi. I mean, I think that's as mechanical as it probably gets on Noah.
Yeah.
There was a lot
running away.
Cinder somehow lives. I don't know how Pioneers misses that Q. Yeah, that's the glimmer of hope Genesis most likely need in this game.
It didn't really look like he was gonna hit it there. Really strange. Looked like the indicator was over it.
Yeah, I just thought since he was right in front of him, you know, he's gonna hit it. But yeah, Vayne 800 gold shut down now due to CS difference, obviously the kills as well.
Just looking at the Zac Q again, barely misses that in. Jeez.
Oh, Twitch in the top lane, he's got the red buff.
Starts hitting that rat-a-tat-tat.
There's going to be 1 kill.
Once he gets in range, that's just taking it. Gets the kill.
Okay, I wondered if he just DC'd there or if he just knew he was dead, but yeah, that's 2 kills back over to the Twitch. It's not what you want to see.
Yeah, once you get inside that auto attack range, go Baron now. It just feels bad to play against that Twitch. Is this gonna be a free Baron? We see the Orianna and the Zac. We do still have the Orianna ulti delivery system.
Yeah, I'm just having a think here. I mean,
it looks
Zac
like it's gonna
be able to get there.
Shen gets in. Zac.
Oh,
that's
an
a
ultimate!
wonderful one-bow combo. Really well played. Double kill for the Orianna. Do they get the ace here? Sion, the only one left alive. Great wombo combo, hits the stretching strikes. Shen gets the taunt. That's the ace. Triple kill for the Shen, double kill for the Orianna.
What a fantastic engage. You got the Zac going in, you got the Orianna ultimate, and that's just enough. It secures the fight. Yeah, they think they get the double kill into the bot lane, that's going to be enough. A little bit over eager. They're now going to lose the Baron, get aced, and
This is when you look at the replay and say we should have turned onto the Zac there. Not let them.
It's always going to be a risk. Jungler's still alive. It's always going to be a 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, Zac is not really worried about giving up his life to try and get a Baron, is he really? And they might just rotate for this Infernal for free as well.
Depends. Will it be for free? It looks like they're trying to converge onto that area. Let's see.
Would not surprise me.
The Olaf
here
going
comes
in.
the Twitch ulti though.
Twitch ulti goes down, gets the rat attack. Morgana almost taken down, but Twitch gets knocked out.
Oh, she's gonna go low.
Vayne in the back line doing the damage, gets the Olaf taken down as well. That's the power of the Gwynzoo's Rage Blue.
Yeah,
Or
that's
right
why
there.
you don't want to give Noah this footing. You know that they are tried and tested on this comp, and you know, to be fair to Genesis, they did try to you know, play them at their own game, as it were. Just sadly not paying off right now.
Yeah, the lack of early game aggression with the Olaf pick when they still had the advantage on the jungle front at least. The Rift Herald, they still had the Rift Herald, gets the inhibitor taken down. Base is broken for Genesis. It's
Yep, that's going to be, you know, 6 point, you know, nearly 7,000 gold, 6.5 gold. Okay, gold leads, you know, 0-5 on your mid laner. It's looking pretty rough. That, you know, that Baron really did turn the, you know, they thought
yeah,
they could.
the fight around the Infernal really just showed us that the Twitch was not enough to carry that fight on its own right there.
Yeah,
Did a lot of damage, almost took the Morgana out, but got taken out himself.
yeah. I mean, you got the Black Shield, you have the Channel coming through. You know, as much as Twitch might be able to burst through, you know, a basic Vayne health bar, not with those shields on, unfortunately. And yeah, it's just a case of one 180 carry comp has snowballed ahead of the other. That's you know,
the Syndra really not being able to do anything here, being 0-5, fallen very far behind.
Yeah, but you know, 1-0-12 on the Zac is really putting in a good performance this game. You know, had a very slow first, you know, 10 minutes of the game, but ever since he's just turned it on and never looked back.
Yeah, once the Syndra flash was burnt and he just decided to camp the mid lane. Very good decision from Pineapple there.
Yeah, you know, I believe he was there 3 times in the time that flash was down, which is just, it's what you want. You know, you pick a mobile mage into the Zac, it's always risky. It's a mid laner's nightmare, and yeah, duly punished for it.
Sieging in the top lane, I'm probably gonna get this turret with the Baron buff and the cannon minion there.
Yep.
Or no, never mind. The entire team of Genesis get up there and defend for now.
They just need to 4-1 right now. They do have the Shen split push mid, so obviously someone's gonna have to respond in the next 30 seconds.
It's just a war of attrition at this point.
Yeah.
The Baron buff, you just keep walking into the lane.
There we go.
Yeah, tower gets taken down.
Yeah, two members show mid, 1 pop. He can just walk up for free. Shen's eventually going to be able to get this tower with the Baron buff. There we go. There's an R2 towers down. Got to be able to refresh this red buff, and yeah, it's just looking really risky right now. For Genesis, one bad fight now, and you know, the game's done.
Yeah, and yet they're stuck in a situation where they have either fight to get it back or steal a Baron, and I'm not sure they might not even survive till the next Baron. So
yeah, you're right. You know, they might not actually even get there. That's the danger at this point. They just have to try and stall. You know, they are down, you know, 9,000 gold. Only did 1 inhib though. That's the saving grace for them. They only are inhib down at the moment.
yeah, and that Baron buff is about to tick out, isn't it?
Yeah, next Baron in 1 minute 45. You know, that's going to be the next big objective after this Cloud Drake. Maybe, you know, they'll give that for free. Take the 20 seconds extra, go to the Baron, maybe get some vision down. They do have all summoners up again, so maybe could be a make or break fight. Try and get a pick with the Syndra stun, maybe the Scion ultimate. Or better even a Twitch flank if they feel a bit brave.
Yeah, they're probably going to be forced to fight on this over this Baron. If they don't, then and give it over for free, then it's game over for them.
Yeah, I don't think they would be able to defend. Not with Syndra this far behind. You know, they don't have much wave clear.
Yeah, almost a 10k gold lead as well. So
yeah, almost about that threshold, and yeah, they're just really choking them out right now. You have complete vision control on this red side, and apart from that one ward sitting in that bush, just as Sans walking past, that's it. That's all they really have right now. Twitch does have blue trinket. He is going to save that for the Baron, smartly so.
yeah,
there goes the stealth. But
goes into stealth. Is he going to try to maybe look for a catch? Or is it too risky? Uses that blue trinket, in fact.
okay, I'm just wondering how long is that? Okay, so Syndra's has one. I'm just thinking, you know, with the orb being down, they would have no vision of that Baron.
Yeah.
But Syndra does have it, so that's one thing they can use to try and
Try to catch him
Seek
out
him
on a
out.
bear.
But yeah, nothing really too exciting.
Yeah, at this point it's pretty much clinical. You just keep the Shen in a side lane until you need him with a TP.
Yeah.
You have vision over the jungle. I'm getting cleared out now though, but still, it's a hard path to the Baron, and the Baron's already started. It's already dead.
Oh jeez, it's just gone.
That's the Vayne right there. Oh, flashes
Oh,
over.
he
Does
gets
get it. Oh, the steal, the clutch steal from General
I did not expect that at all.
He
Oh my
just
god.
goes for it. Ragnaroks flashes in, goes man mode, takes it down.
My god, I can't believe you actually got that.
It's still a 5v4 now though, and will that Baron buff be enough to save them in a potential fight?
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to end off it. I mean, they might be able to just get the one in off it. But yeah, I can't believe that she managed to get that. But no, fair play.
General
Fair play to
Kenobi does, really sort of puts the back on his team on his back there. Back on his team.
That'll be a funny moment. Yeah, he does. Saving grace just really saves the game. Where we're saying, they get that bar and the game's effectively over. And yeah, manages to save a bit of an oopsie there for Pioneers, and we'll just get a Cloud Drake as a consolation, really.
Cloud Drake really not that big of a deal at this point in the game. Would really prefer it to be maybe an Infernal or maybe a Mountain to try to crack those turrets, final turrets in the base.
Yeah.
But you do what you can with what you get. RNG is lower here.
Well, looking at what 7,500 gold. Still, sustaining that lead. Vayne's 3.5 items, Twitch 3 items as well. It's fairly close between AD carries. I feel like they're both 3 items that could possibly go either way. I don't think it's actually a done deal just yet. You just never know with a Twitch low.
Yeah, Twitch does have that in Infinity Edge, so it's he's gonna start doing a lot of damage here, even on the front line.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be careful. They might be 7k ahead, but this game is not over yet.
You do see the redemption on the Olaf, the more supportive Olaf build here. Also gets the Hex Drinker. Maybe not sure about that item, just to survive the burst from the Orianna.
Yeah, I reckon so. Just wants some form of AD, but he's gonna jump in. Ragnarok used though.
Gets caught in 4 people at Ragnarok. Gets taken down.
Oh, the Twitch!
Whoa, the Twitch getting Orianna ulti.
Shockwave!
Huge in the back line. Gets the 3 people taken down already. Sion flashes out, 4 people taken down. Only the Lulu left alive, and this is probably going to beat the game here.
I tell you what, it might be all about Noah, but that's 2 shockwaves I've seen. One at that Baron fight, one right there,
Yeah.
along with the Zac.
That shockwave, both of those shockwaves have been very deciding buttons pressed right there. Very well done by that by James.
Yeah, they clumped up. They just obviously got a little bit hyped at that. I thought that was going to be turned. That Twitch really did scare them for a second there with that damage, but
Yeah.
in the end, not enough.
Pumping out the Infinity Edge damage, but not enough when the massive 3-man shockwave gets them caught out. Very well done by James to save the fight there.
Yeah, just a fantastic ulti. 2 fights they've clumped up, one around Baron, one there, and yeah, that's how quickly the game can end. But
yeah, looking at the damage graph, you see James at 31 minutes exactly, by the way. But see James does the most damage there, beats out the Vayne. That's the power of those Orianna shockwaves. There really can be a game-changing mechanic, and it was there.
yeah, I'm just thinking, it's a very tough one. I'm thinking of if we're thinking of MVP, it's a very tough one.
Yeah. Obviously, General Kenobi trying to put his team, saving his team with the Baron steal is obviously a big play, but didn't end up winning them the game. Feels bad, man. Moment now.
He did have that. He does that flashy Q. The Q flash to get over the wall, get away. Not enough in the end. Well, who would your MVP candidate be? I'm having a little bit to think about it. Who are you thinking?
I'm torn because I think Pineapple really sealed or really helped his team get ahead early on, and even in the Baron fight, the first one, he really did he had a wonderful ultimate right in the middle of the entire team.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you have James with the great shockwaves.
Well, we could give it to chat. I don't know how much the stream is delayed, but yeah, it's either you don't have to hashtag, but for me, it's down to either Pineapple or James.
Yeah, same for me.
For me, I would just edge it to James, purely just for the shockwaves. I feel like without those two, even though Pioneers had a fantastic game overall with the amount of engages he set up his team for, without those shockwaves, they wouldn't have won that game.
Yeah, especially that last one, really.
Yeah. So for me,
me,
James just edges it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one.
But, I feel like Piney's carrying early, getting the team in the position to do so. But yeah, for me, James just edges it with those shockwaves.
Yeah, we have in chat the shockwaves were on. Yeah. So we're deciding on James then, or?
Yeah, for me, I'll give it to James. I mean, yeah, you can argue both ways. The fantastic Olaf engages, Olaf, Zach engages, enemy clumps up. Different things come into effect. But yeah, for me, I'm going to give it to James on this one. So,
yeah, either way, we're going to get people disagreeing in chat, but I'll give it to James as well.
I believe, just before we go, the EQ League Twitch stream is wanting to find someone to host, some small little streamer, maybe sitting on 3 or 4 viewers, just to maybe give them 10, 15, whoever sticks around. I don't know if they're going to do that. Any ideas in the chat? Maybe one will pop up. I have one lined up. Okay, yeah. Well, that's I'll let you do the outro, but that's it for me.
Let me do the outro.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to say thank you to EQ for letting me cast again. Is always a pleasure. But yeah, take it away.
Yeah, that's the end of week 4 of the EQ League for today, at least. Yeah, wonderful game this last one. It's been interesting last couple of games. We'll be back next week on Sunday as well, same times as this week, and wish you all well.
Yep. See you next week, guys.